What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Welcome everyone, it's Monday, June 16th, and you're tuned in to the ultimate destination for all things lifestyle, entertainment, and everything in between. I'm Anthea Ferguson, filling in for Jiminita Swain, and you're watching What's Trending, the show where we bring you the latest trends, hottest news, and insider tips on living your best life. Whether you're here for the fashion, food, fitness, or the latest buzz from social media, we've got you covered. Today, we're kicking things off with smart money moves. Author Charlene Storr joins us with tips on how to avoid a financial meltdown this summer and enjoy the season without breaking the bank. Then we're turning up the romance in our brand new summer dating series, Crafted for Two. Our friends from Hillside House Gallery are here to add some sparkle to date night with a hands-on ring-making experience that's all about connection and creativity. And later in What's the Buzz, we're breaking down the social media trends everyone's talking about. Whether it's a destination, a look, or a lifestyle, the Bahama Beauty is bringing us the scoop on what's lighting up your feed. All that and more, and trust us, you don't want to miss a minute. You're watching What's Trending.
Jeep Tours, both visitors and locals can experience the many sights and scenes of Nassau when they embark on this amazing sightseeing adventure.
Pirate Jeep Tours, what sets us apart is, well, number one, we see ourselves as ambassadors for the Bahamas, and what really makes it different from other tour company is the fact that we do private tours as pirates. So everything that we say about the Bahamas, all about the history, the culture, is all done through the lens of a pirate. What's unique about Pirate Jeep Tours is actually, well, a few things. One, the fact that we're in Jeeps. Some pretty cool Jeeps, I'm not gonna lie. And then the other thing is the fact that it's private. So it creates a more of a bond and a real effect with the guests, where it's just one pirate tour guide, and then also it's just us, and we're just bonding, having a good time, and creating lifelong relationships with a lot of these people. I'm doing the tours. I had a family from Florida, and this was like 2022. And last year when I traveled to Florida, they were able to remember me. So it caused us to create that bond. The team members were all unique in our own special way. The personalities, the characteristics, all of that makes it unique. Normally when people see us, they see us for the sightseeing aspect of it, but we also do two other aspects of the company as well that I know is really fun and it's really been going well. One would be the rum adventure. So we have those who love the history, but then we have those who love to get drunk, party, have a good time. We have the rum tour where you're just riding a Jeep, drinking, having a good time. And then for corporate groups, or if you have a birthday party, we do have it, whereas basically we have a scavenger hunt. So whether it be across the island, on property, whatever you want us to do, we make it happen.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Summer is officially 4 days away, and while the sun is shining, your wallet might be feeling the heat. From weekend getaways to family outings to back-to-school shopping just around the corner, it's easy for spending to spiral out of control. So how do you enjoy the season without falling into a financial crisis? Joining us today is Charlene Storr, author of Staging Your Financial Comeback, here to share practical tips on how to budget wisely, stretch your dollar, and still have an amazing summer. Charlene, welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here with you.
So is it possible to budget wisely and still have an amazing summer?
It absolutely is. There's a couple of things to consider. One is the expenses that come up every summer and how you can control them. How much you're spending on vacation, paying attention to your utility bills, you know, the
They go
ACs
up.
that we're running, not to mention the groceries with the kids home all summer, or summer programs, right? So the trick is to decide in advance how much you want to spend on those items so there are no surprises. There are some people who earn less during the summer if you're a seasonal earner, so maybe you want to be a little creative on how you earn additional income and get the kids involved where practical.
So you talk about planning ahead and remembering that, hey, every year these bills gonna come. Every year these kids gonna be home a lot more. Like you say, we use our ACs a little bit more. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see people make as we head into the summer months, where you also mentioned that some people are seasonal earners and the money just isn't coming in that way? What are some of the mistakes we need to look out for?
Spending as if there's no limit, right? Planning a vacation that you're paying for right into next year. That, you know, that's not always the best idea. And even not thinking through back to school. I mean, it shouldn't surprise you. By the end of August, you need to buy back to school supplies. So planning that into your spending early on in the summer.
And what advice would you give to parents then who, you know, are now mid-June pretty much, that they can now start using and utilizing to prepare for back to school?
Start looking out now for the deals, right? And even if you structure it so that you're buying a little something every month, as opposed to waiting until the end of the month when you've spent everything else. Just planning that stuff out. If your kids are, if it's age appropriate, get the kids involved in earning for back to school supplies as well, working through the summer, you know, that type of stuff.
And so we all know the summer trips. Every family wants to practically take their family on a big summer trip. What advice would you have there? Do a smaller one this year, then a big one next year?
If you're going into a major expense borrowing for a vacation, that's not usually a good idea, because you'll be paying for it too far into the future. Sometimes it may be delay it a year or two for the big one, or there are a lot of things we can do for fun that require less money, even vacationing at home, right? Those options. I'm a family of 5, and so we would occasionally do the Atlantis. Someone will say to me, that's very expensive. It's cheaper than 5 tickets.
Talk about budgeting, right? And you talk about planning ahead. But what should families be looking at or doing in terms of their summer budgets? Because I know we save for Christmas. Everyone has their little piggy bank on the side for Christmas. Is that something we need to start doing for summer?
Yes, particularly if you're planning trips, you know, planning that out in advance. It's a financial plan. A lot of people don't like the word budget, so it's a financial plan.
Call it a financial plan.
Yeah, we plan vacations. Let's plan what we're going to do with our money. And a good idea there, too, is allocating by percentage. How much money do you have? What percentage of that money will you put to traveling, fun, whatever during the summer, even utility bills. Determine in advance how much we want to spend, how much of our income, what percentage of that do we want to go in any particular area.
And even sometimes when we don't have the financial plan or we don't think ahead, people be like, you know what, it's summer, I still want to take my kids on this trip. Should they just forego it some years when they don't have that plan in place?
Yes, I always think it's better to skip a year or two and save towards it, you know. And again, you can have fun without spending a lot of money. There are things you can do locally to create some fun. Right.
And so let's go to your book now, Staging Your Financial Comeback, Keys to Recovering from a Financial Crisis. What can we find in here? What nuggets, what gems can we find in these pages?
What this book seeks to do is lay it out in a simple format. We have a lot of stories, so it should be relatable. At the end of each chapter, there's some reflections that allow you to plan ahead, so that by the time you're finished with the book, you should have your own practical, personal, actionable plan to get out of your financial crisis.
All right, so what made you write the book?
I've been coaching people one-on-one for about 30 years, and it's a couple of things that happened. I find I wasn't reaching enough people one-on-one. The book gets me to more people in advance. Plus, coming out of COVID, I found there were so many people who were terminated, underemployed, unemployed, any variation, facing crises, and that's where this particular book was born.
And I love the name of the book, Staging Your Financial Comeback. And as I flip through, I see some points that I could even take away, right? Money among colleagues, poor communication with money. So where can we find this book?
It's available on Amazon, in print, on Kindle, local stores, Logos, Bookstore, Oasis Bookstore, Chapter 1 Bookstore at UB.
Some really great insight today. Thank you so much for being here and breaking down how we can all enjoy the summer season without the financial stress. Well, we've talked money and how to avoid a summer financial meltdown. Now it's time to switch gears and add a little spark and romance.
Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training's National Report Card Day is Thursday, June 19th, 2025, between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All parents are urged to collect their children's report card during this time.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
For us at the Myers Group of restaurants, we found that we have a pretty large portion of our employment pool that had difficulty getting bank accounts.
The issue we had previously was just getting cash, getting funds on the island. And with only one working ATM, the idea of the sand dollar just in being digital, and everybody has a smartphone nowadays, it actually worked into our favor.
The sand dollar was like a godsend because it allowed us to add it to our payroll system, which means we're able to send their money to the sand dollar wallet.
It's still a bank transfer because you get an account number. So from the employer side of things, all I have to do is send your funds just as usual.
It opens up our pool for us to be able to hire some of the people that we couldn't hire before because they were unable to open bank accounts. This has been a really good solution.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
What's Trending got tired of the usual dinner and a movie routine, so we created Crafted for Two, a summer dating series all about shaking things up with unique hands-on date ideas. From pottery classes to Go lessons and now ring-making workshops, we're bringing you fun, fresh ways to connect and create lasting memories together. Say goodbye to boring dates and hello to a summer full of creativity. First Crafted for Two, we're skipping the usual movie date and heading to Hillside House Gallery, where you and your significant other can get to make your very own rings. It's hands-on, creative, and the perfect way to bond over something truly special, because what better way to celebrate your connection than by crafting a symbol of it together? Selena Monroe is here from Hillside House Gallery to walk us through this ring-making process and share why crafting something together can make for an unforgettable date experience. Welcome to What's Trending.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So let's get into making our rings. Talk to me a little bit though about why Hillside House Gallery decided to add this to their menu.
Well, we host lots of workshops. They're all hand-on, led by Bahamian creatives. They're meant to spark joy and creativity and build community and reconnect you with using your hands and getting creative, which we think is really important.
Yes, it definitely is important. So we talk about date nights and it being summer. You know, you want to go out and try something new and different. Why should someone consider your ring making class?
It's really romantic, it's intimate. You get to make something that lasts forever, essentially. We're making sterling silver rings and they'll outlive you, which is kind of romantic, right?
That's very romantic. So let's get started. Where do we start? Where do we go? Talk to me about some of the things we have here.
So the first place that we're gonna wanna get started is we're gonna wanna find our ring size.
And how do we find our ring size? Because every time I go shopping, I'm looking for a little ring, hint, hint, wink, 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 wink. Like, I don't know my ring size. So is there like a rule of thumb that I can use if I don't have like a sizer?
I guess you can take a piece of string and measure, and then you can measure out the distance and then use like a guide online or something.
Okay.
But this is the easiest way, right? Just the ring sizer. And let's see, we'll try to find your ring size here.
Which finger do you want me to use? My index?
What finger do you want?
I just only wear my ring hair, but we could do this one.
Yeah, let's do this one.
Okay.
Look at that. On the first go.
What size is that?
That's gonna be a 9.
Size 9.
Yeah.
Okay, is that big or small?
Listen, it's your size, so it is perfect. That's what it is. It's
I'm a size 9, and say I'm out on a date with my hubby, or even a girls' date. We can make this like for girls' night or something.
Or even a solo date. Yeah.
Well, that too. Yeah. So, okay, I find my ring size. What do we do next?
So, usually where we start is we light a bit of fire. We're not going to light any fire today. We're going to keep everything TV safe.
Okay.
But we light a bit of fire, so you get to use this jeweler's torch and heat things up, which is most people's favorite part of the workshop. Who doesn't like to feel powerful with a little bit of fire, right?
Exactly.
So we're gonna skip that part today.
Safety, guys.
Yeah. And so we're gonna focus on shaping and hammering and polishing it up a bit.
Okay? So how long does it usually take to make a ring from like start to finish?
So this workshop is 2 hours long.
Okay.
Usually. Yeah. It goes by really quickly though.
Yeah, 2 hours is no time really, especially when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, drinking a little wine, having a good time.
I got wine there too.
Right.
So you started something for me, right? So show me what we got and how can I finish it off?
Okay, so here's what you're gonna finish. I'm gonna give you the mandrel. This is our tool here. You're gonna hold that. And I've started your ring for you. And what you're gonna do is put it on here. And you're gonna take this rubber mallet here and you're gonna start to hit it.
All right, so just rest it down, or how do you do it? Just
so you're gonna hold it in your hand like this.
Okay,
I know it seems scary to hit where your finger is, but you'll have more
I gotta put my finger here.
Yeah. And all you're going to do is you're going to be hitting it into a circular shape. So just like this.
Okay, I think I got you.
Turning it all around. Trying not to hit the same side twice.
Okay.
Yeah? But I think what is even more special is we do stamping. So you can stamp letters or like dates, like an important anniversary date or something, or your significant other's initials are cool.
Okay. So is every ring unique? Like every ring is completely different?
Everyone is completely different.
Okay.
Let's see how we're looking there.
Not quite circular yet.
That's fine. That's so fine.
What's the learning curve on this? Like how long does someone usually take to like get it?
Not very long. It's actually really quick to get.
Okay,
so hit here for me. Hit right there. Yeah.
I see where that part is jutting out. I really don't want to hit your finger.
No, you can't hit my finger.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you.
Got you. All right, how are we looking?
We're gonna use a real hammer
I see it shaping up.
Oh,
I see it
shaping up. Isn't that so fun when you see things coming together?
I see it.
There we go. We got it.
Good?
Yep, that's good.
All right.
So now what we're going to do is the same process, but we're going to use this ball peen hammer and this side here, which is going to give us our really interesting hammer texture. So you're going to do the same motion that you were doing, and you're just going to start hitting it.
Okay.
Right?
Beautiful. So how can people go about booking the service, finding you?
So we're on all the socials, Hillside House. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can also go to our website, hillsidehousegallery.com, to reach out to sign up for a workshop.
So how's my ring looking?
Very good. Awesome. I'm just gonna whack it a little bit more for you.
So did you make all these rings on your hand?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so now we can move to polishing it up a bit. And all we're going to do is we are going to...
So we sized, we didn't do this part, the torch, we speed it, and now we're going to polish. Is that the final step?
That's the final step.
Okay.
That's all that there is.
All right, so I have my ring that I'm going to let Selena finish polishing for me, and I will definitely be taking this home, but this was such a cool experience.
Yes.
I definitely want to see other people coming out, trying new things for date night. It's summer, you know, you want to get outside, be outside the house and do new, fresh, fun things.
Absolutely. Come get your hands dirty.
Exactly. Huge thanks to Selena for showing me my first ring making experience. Selena and I are going to complete my ring off camera, and I'll show you after the break. Well, coming up after the break, the Bahama Beauty is back with more online obsessions you need to see. We'll be right back.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving the small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Diet-friendly special.
We're diving into more buzzworthy stories, a few surprises, and maybe even a viral moment or two with the Bahama Beauty.
I'm the Bahama Beauty, and here's what's the buzz for this week. The Twitter streets have no chill, and Gunna just threw them into a full-blown spiral. Another day of men with Birkins causing a stir. Over the weekend, the rapper celebrated his birthday in luxury because, you know, Gunna doesn't do anything less than designer down to the socks. But what really turned heads and triggered timelines was one particular birthday gift, an Hermes Birkin bag. Yes, you heard that right. The king of drip got a purse, and the internet went wild. Gunna unwrapped the iconic orange box with the kind of grin you'd expect from someone unboxing a Rolex. But instead, out came a Birkin, and in came the discourse. This user posting, "As a man, why you getting a purse as a birthday gift? That's crazy." Another, "Not a briefcase, but a purse." The funniest thing is, you worrying about accepting it. That looks like something he wanted, so he might have been telling people as a grown man, "I really want a purse." All the Birkinless men upset with Gunna. Figures. The fashion-forward flexer isn't new to this. He's been breaking gender norms in fashion for years. Crop tops, pearls, nail polish, and now Birkin bags. The man is literally building a better handbag collection than most celebs. And not just for clout. Gunna's been vocal about collecting Birkins as an investment and a sign of status. So Gunna might actually be playing smart chess while Twitter's playing fashion police. DDG said, "Don't play with him. He's not just rapping bars, he's serving legal ones too." Allegedly. The YouTube rapper turned mainstream artist is not here for the fabricated drama. Over the weekend, DDG hit the timeline with a firm warning.
I'm going to start sending out cease and desist, and I will sue you. I have the money to do so. And I know you don't have the money to defend yourself. I will sue you, okay? If you do not abide by my paperwork that will be sent to you, okay? I would spend $30,000 to get that cheese and that penny out your pocket. Shade Room, I'm gonna say this. If the next post about me is false information or negative, you receive one.
Apparently, some messy corners of the internet decided to spice up their slow news week by putting some seasoning on their stories about DDG. To add insult to injury, he publicly wished all the active dads a happy Father's Day yesterday, which sparked this response from popular online blog Pop Tings. So if you're a blog out there typing up scandalous headlines about DDG just to run up your views, you might want to double check those sources before your next post end up in court documents. Doja Cat made headlines after a clip went viral featuring a meetup with a fan, Pablo Tamayo, in LA. He excitedly handed her a shirt from his Pride collection, hugging and jumping with the star, and she seemed all smiles at first.
I'm about to give my shirt to Doja Cat because she's the iconic girl.
Period!
No, bitch, you deserve it. Literally, and if you ever want anything more, I got you, always. This is the
Period. Happy Pride Month.
However, the vibes shifted fast. Doja hopped on X to set the record straight in a post and delete, stating, "I threw that musty shirt away, by the way." Another confused fan responded to her comment saying, "Girl, I thought you said he smelled good." Her response, "Bottom line is, I'll smile at you, but it doesn't mean I mess with you. And don't touch me and manhandle me when you don't even know me." Twitter exploded. Some fans nodded along while others called it weird and fake, asking if she was being dramatic. Some users even thought her reaction was a part of a much bigger conspiracy. This user posting, "If that man was a white racist Nazi, Doja Cat would be sucking the sweat off that shirt." She definitely did this, so when you search up Doja Cat's shirt, that Nazi shirt doesn't come up. Yikes. Typical Libra behavior, throwing someone under the bus so they can save their own skin. Doja took a fan moment and turned it into a headline-making lesson in personal boundaries. Some fans are applauding her for standing her ground, others think it got messy. Either way, the internet just cannot stop talking about it. If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Diet-friendly special.
Education and Technical and Vocational Training's National Report Card Day is Thursday, June 19th, 2025, between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All parents are urged to collect their children's report card during this time.
Hey, ladies, where's the day? Oh, okay, thanks.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
You up?
He's meditating. You gotta give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Been penitentiary fail now on to independent.
Selena finished my rings, and they are so very beautiful. Thank you so much. Definitely something I will keep forever. Well, on Tuesday's show, Liquorland is in studio with this summer's hottest drinks, from wines to whiskey and even your favorite mixers. And that's how we wrap up another trending day. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on What's Trending. Remember, the conversation never stops. Catch up with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. Share your thoughts and let us know what you think should be trending next. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. with more headlines, highlights, and heat. Until then, stay curious and most of all, stay connected.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories.
Health Minister touts major healthcare infrastructure progress on Grand Bahama. Plus, the Deputy Prime Minister highlights booming family island tourism with sharp rise in visitor arrivals. And the 2025 hurricane shelter list released for the Northern Bahamas.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, during his contribution to the 2025-2026 budget debate, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, reiterated the government's commitment to strengthening healthcare in Grand Bahama, highlighting progress on the Freeport Health Campus and confirming that phase 1 of the project is expected to be completed by the end of the year. Our Sheila Roll has tonight's top story.
During today's 2025-2026 budget debate in the House of Assembly, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Michael Darville, provided a comprehensive update on major healthcare developments for Grand Bahama with a spotlight on the highly anticipated Freeport Health Campus. Dr. Darville reminded the House that a $75 million loan facility had been secured through CIBC to complete the state-of-the-art medical campus, signaling a significant investment in Grand Bahama's healthcare future. He confirmed that phase 1 of the project is on track for completion by the end of the year.
We are getting ready for the EpiCore to pour the roof of this facility, and after that we'll begin to install the necessary windows and hopefully have phase 1A and 1B ready for turnkey by the end of this year, early next year.
The minister assured the public that the entire facility is expected to be fully operational before the end of the Progressive Liberal Party's current term in office.
And begin multi-story concrete structure for phase 2 to begin now to show the hospital in full-fledged and the state-of-the-art hospital fully operational before the end of our term in office.
The Freeport Health Campus, once fully operational, is expected to include an oncology unit, a development described as a game changer for the island. Currently, many cancer patients must travel to Nassau or abroad for treatment. The new unit will significantly reduce the burden by offering specialized care locally.
On completion of this ambitious project, the residents of Grand Bahama will finally have a full hospital with oncology services, transforming healthcare on that island and by extension the northern services for years to come.
In addition to the health campus, Dr. Darville also addressed ongoing renovations at the Rand Memorial Hospital, emphasizing the government's commitment to improving existing health infrastructure alongside new developments.
At the Rand Memorial Hospital, major renovations including the morgue facility, on-call quarters for doctors, the upgrade of medical infrastructure is 95% completed, and in a few months we anticipate full occupancy. The mold remediation exercise for the modular units to the east and west of the Rand Memorial Hospital facility is completed, and these units will go back in service in a few weeks.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Sheila Roll.
Great news there. Thanks, Shalia. Meantime, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation reported robust growth in the country's family islands, with foreign air and sea arrivals rising significantly this year. Breaking down the figures during his budget contribution on Thursday, he says the numbers reflect the growing appeal of these destinations.
Guests are staying longer and spending more.
Tourism in the Bahamas isn't just back, it's booming. That's according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, who is reporting strong year-over-year growth in both air and sea arrivals. He says the rebound is especially evident across the northern Bahamas, signaling a robust recovery for the country's leading economic driver.
Grand Bahama remains the fastest growing island, with air arrivals up 14.5%. And we are confident that Celebration Key, that will open in Freeport next month, will send sea arrivals skyrocketing as well.
He adds that Abaco has also shown solid growth, welcoming some 173,000 arrivals, a 7% increase compared to the same period last year.
Abaco's air arrivals have grown 13.7% year over year, second only to Grand Bahama.
The minister says this growth is not happenstance. It reflects a deliberate push to drive traffic across all 16 island destinations and reflects the growing appeal of our family island experiences. Additionally, he notes that Bimini reported a major jump in total cruise arrivals this year.
Bimini, which began accelerating cruise visitors only recently in 2022, saw a massive 29.7% increase in total arrivals this year.
Officials say from January to April, the Bahamas recorded 4.3 million foreign air and sea arrivals, signaling an 11% increase from 2024. But while the numbers are encouraging, the minister acknowledges potential headwinds that could impact this sector in the coming months.
Much of this can be attributed to the geopolitical issues triggered by the policies of our northern neighbors, including policies on travel bans and advisories. Notwithstanding, our proximity to USA gives us a decided comparative advantage for last-minute impulsive travel. Our strategies have a short-term reactive component, but is also very long-term focused. We will continue to have strategic focused marketing.
Well, with predictions pointing to an above-average Atlantic hurricane season, how prepared is Grand Bahama? In this report, the island's administrator says preparations have been underway since the start of the year, and officials are not leaving anything to chance.
I can say unequivocally now that we in Grand Bahama, we are ready to respond to a hurricane should one come our way.
With forecasters predicting an intense 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, officials in Grand Bahamas say they are fully prepared. According to Preston Cooper, island administrator for the city of Freeport, the Disaster Consultative Committee has been meeting regularly with all key stakeholders since January. Hurricane inspections, he says, have been a top priority.
Certain characteristics have to be addressed. Those inspections have been carried out by a Disaster Risk Management Authority, along with representatives from the Ministry of Works and indeed Social Services, and consideration of structural integrity, bathroom accessibility, handicap friendly, and of course flooding. We had to address those issues.
Now, Cooper says officials have identified some 23 shelters on Grand Bahama, 6 of them in the west and 17 in the central area. However, for East Grand Bahama, the message remains clear. There will be mandatory evacuation orders in the event of a major storm.
In the western part, we have the Church of God of Prophecy. In central Grand Bahama, we have the Church of Ascension and Bishop Michael Eldon School Auditorium, just to name a few.
The number of shelters is slightly lower than in previous years. Still, Cooper emphasizing that there is a strong focus on protecting the island's most vulnerable residents.
We're in the process now of, for example, of identifying those persons that are handicapped, the elderly, are senior citizens on the island in terms of the number of persons that we're talking with. We're in relationship with the social services.
While Grand Bahama continues to recover from catastrophic storms like Hurricane Dorian, Cooper urges residents not to wait, stressing that early preparation is key.
Those preparations should be to safeguard their home and properties, removal of trees, removal of loose items which can be used as projectiles in the event of heavy winds, securing of important documents, and also securing of medication.
And as we enter the second week of the Atlantic hurricane season, which officially runs from June 1 to November 30th, the tropics remain quiet, but officials are urging residents to stay alert and ready just in case.
Meantime, the Disaster Risk Management Authority has officially released its 2025 hurricane shelter list for the Bahamas. The respective shelters in the northern Bahamas are as follows. If you reside within Abaco's Central District, you are to report to Central Abaco Primary School, Friendship Tabernacle, Guanakee Primary School, Manawar Primary School, and Hope Time Primary School. In Abaco's North District, your shelters are Amy Roberts Primary Preschool, Faith Walk Church of God Community Center, and Grand Key All-Age Schools Preschool Block. For Abaco's South District, you are to report to Crossing Rocks Primary School, Morris Island School, and Soul Seeking Ministries. If you reside in the Berry Islands, the Church of God Prophecy in Great Harbor Key and David A. Dean Community Center in Bullocks Harbor are your assigned shelters. For Bimini residents, Gateway Gymnasium, Louise McDonald High School are your shelters, and Urban Renewal will be the Special Needs Center. For West Grand Bahama, you are to report to Bethany Baptist Church, Church of God Prophecy in the Seagrape and Pinedale communities, Central Zion Baptist Church in Pinedale, Bethel Baptist Church, New Mount Olivet Baptist Church, and in the 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium. Within Central Grand Bahama, you are to report to the Foster B. Pistina Hall of Christ the King Church for those with special needs, Church of Ascension of Arden Forest Road, Central Church of God on Coral Road, First Baptist Church, Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church, Evangeline Jervis Hurricane Shelter, Revelation Apostolic International Church, New Life Worship Center, Calvary Temple Assembly of God, Bishop Michael Eldon Schools Auditorium, Maurice Moore Primary School, Sir Jack Haywood Junior High School, and St. George's High School Gymnasium. Other shelters in the Central District, which are reserved for aftermath efforts, include Church of God of Prophecy Community at Heart, First Holiness Church of God, and Miracle Revival Fellowship. In other news, the Ministry of Grand Bahama will soon begin its annual summer jobs program for high school and college students that employs some 600 students at various establishments on the island. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Joel Lewis, has this update.
Those applications will be out shortly. We are identifying persons in the public who would accommodate some of our students, and we also look forward to ensuring that our students have some type of job training and wholesome activity during their summer break.
And still to come.
Father's Day doubles as ZNS celebrates 89 years of radio and salutes impactful fathers. We will have details of that story plus sports highlights when we return.
Hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Be a part of history. The Grand Bahama Port Authority invites you to nominate outstanding residents for Icons of the City 2.0. Submit your nominations today at gbpa.com/icons before June 21st.
Psst. Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Cup determines former Samus, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry, Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper, so you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Come with us this June as ZNS Northern Service takes you on a journey to one of the most captivating islands in the Bahamas. And even the crystal waters of Ocean Key, we're showing you the best. Plus, an exclusive look at luxury and excitement at Resort World Bimini. Join us on June 23rd through the 27th for news and daily shows live right here from Resort World Bimini. Bimini awaits.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your #1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. Father's Day served a dual purpose for the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas that celebrated nearly 90 years of its radio product, also taking the time to recognize fathers making a difference. Our Cleopatra Murphy has that report.
The spotlight turned to 10 outstanding fathers Sunday night as the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas celebrating 89 years of service to its radio and television audiences in partnership with New Life Worship Center recognized the contributions of fathers. Organizer, Senior Pastor of New Life Worship Center, Simeon Oughton, says the church was pleased to partner for the initiative, while Overseer of Jubilee Cathedral Bishop Godfrey Williams says he is pleased to be a part of something positively highlighting men.
Father's Day is a rather interesting time of the year that does not get the pomp and pageantry that Mother's Day get, but we know fathers to be the seed carrier. And so we want to do as much as we can to recognize and to celebrate them.
But there's some very good fathers in this community who are impacting the lives of so many. And I can say that I am one of them. And
4 of the night's honorees reflected on what the recognition and fatherhood means to them.
Growing up, my father was always there for us. And we were led to be the young men that we are today. So I say, I have to instill that in the guys that are around me.
I help a lot of families, help a lot of kids, and I never know I'd have been chosen to be a father with this day.
I've gone through it, and for 52 years, it isn't easy, but when you commit yourself, it's a commitment.
I don't do what I do for recognition, but I'm still very proud that somebody sees and recognizes that something positive is coming from me.
Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas executives Picewell Forbes, Allison Smith, Clint Watson, and Shashina Roll-Fackerson commended the corporation for the milestone and the honorees.
We have been a part of the community of Grand Bahama and the entire Commonwealth of Bahamas, the voice of radio throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas.
And I want to commend all those who've given much over the years to ZNS and its development, radio, and secondarily this evening television.
Thank you, honorees, for proving to us today that good will always overcome evil.
We again want to say thank you to the 10 outstanding honorees. May the work that you do
continue to speak for you.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Great story, Cleo. And now it is time for Health is Wealth Mondays.
Most of us should know by now that diabetes is a chronic condition that affects the way our bodies break down and use the sugar and starch or glucose we eat. Type 2 diabetes is a disease more commonly associated with adults, but it is on the rise in children and adolescents, fueled largely by the obesity epidemic. While most children will show no symptoms, others may experience increased thirst, hunger and urination, weight loss, fatigue, blurred vision, slow healing sores or frequent infections, or areas of darkened skin often found in the armpits or on the neck. If your child or teenager is at risk for type 2 diabetes, encourage him or her to eat healthy foods, get plenty of physical activity, and maintain a healthy weight. If diet and exercise are not enough for them, medications may be needed. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and remember, your greatest wealth is your health.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Well, Raven, it's a big week for baseball in Grand Bahama. I think your brother played baseball, right?
Yes, he does.
And so Nationals begins on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Some of the best baseball players throughout the country will be in Grand Bahama.
Wow, back to weekend, Jay. Well, thanks. Sports comes your way next, but first a check on your local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than the tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
Join us for City in Motion, your inside look at the people, progress, and possibilities shaping the city of Freeport. Each week, we bring you the stories behind the movement. Highlighting how the Grand Bahama Port Authority is leading with purpose.
Our desire is to connect Bahamians with the opportunities that's right in front of them.
This is City in Motion.
Grand Bahama, it's the time of celebration. The Bahama Brass Band presents with a Shout Wheel March, celebrating a combined 170 years of service, duty, and music ministry. 100 years Nassau and 70 years Grand Bahama. With special guests, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Force Band, female contingent. Tickets are $20 in advance and $25 at the door. It's all happening at 7 p.m. Grand Lukai in Ballroom, Saturday, the 26th of July, 2025. With a shout, we'll march.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. Top in Sports, the GBPA Andre Rogers Jr. National Baseball Championships will take center stage this weekend, beginning Thursday on Grand Bahama at the Mara Baseball Park. GB Little League 14U team will be coached by Sidney Thomas, who says Team Grand Bahama is hoping to win the gold this time around.
We have a good group of guys. I feel very competitive. We're young guys, they've been playing together for a while. Going into the nationals, I think we can be a team to reckon with, based on the all players we have who've been playing together for all these years. We're working on hitting. So hitting usually be one of our biggest factor. When we get teams come from different bars, different pitching, so. This year we're going to work on hitting and pitching, just going into these couple of days practice for the Nationals.
Also in sports, results from the recent all-out boxing event that saw some competitive fights in the ring. Samani Miller won over Aiding Timothy in the Pee-wee division. Tyrese Knowles got the win versus Ronnie Matherin in the 14 under category. In the 10-11 105 pounds division, Demarion Mackey was victorious over Sanaya Miller. Timothy Higgs lost to Roscoe Boyd in the 14 age group 128 pounds. The age 17 190 pounds bout went to Colin Smith, who took down Navarro Cooper. Dante Anderson defeated Jamal Small in the 14 age group. Also, Keanu Cox outscored Jason Bethel Elite Showdown in the 144 pounds division. And Melwid Pethrin won over Romanian Nightmare Kodrin Kabozru. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
Come with us this June as ZNS Northern Service takes you on a journey to one of the most captivating islands in the Bahamas.
And even the crystal waters of Ocean Key, we're showing you the best. Plus, an exclusive look at luxury and excitement at Resorts World Bimini.
Join us on June 23rd through the 27th for news and daily shows live right here from Resorts World Bimini.
Bimini awaits.
What is Business Fit? Business Fit is a group health insurance package offered by BAF Financial. What are some of the benefits of Business Fit? No deductible, dental and vision care, hospital room and board, surgical treatment, labs, medication and drugs, maternity, doctors, clinics, specialist visits, chemotherapy and radiation treatment, air and ground ambulance, and preventative care. Business Fit, offered by BAF Financial.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
The Fluid Factory and the Rhythm 102.7 FM brings it to you. The Reunion 3, the mega old school party. Saturday, June 28th. Performing live. Bahamas is the one you know and love. The hitmaker Tanya Stevens.
Yo, Freeport, this is the girl Tanya Stevens inviting you to join me for the Reunion 3. And it's at the Grand Lukai and Ballroom. Yo, I want the boom box. Love the way you have the stuff.
Oh yes, Tanya Stevens live. Doing all her hits at the Reunion 3, Saturday, June 28th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. Get your early bird tickets now. This one will sell out. Tickets are $60 VIP, $100 platinum, table $650, skybox $2,800. Act like you know her with Tanya Stevens performing live. Saturday, June 28th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. Gates open at 8 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. Reunion3.com. Tanya Stevens performing live.
Make sure we see you.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis.
And I'm Jay Philly.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next day or on your screen.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, hear the latest on the controversy surrounding Cuban healthcare workers and where this leaves future recruitment efforts. Also, boots on the ground in an inner-city community still reeling from one of 3 fatal shootings Father's Day weekend. And in addition to the High Court's bench, find out what the newest Court of Appeal justice looks forward to most. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Earlier this year, the Bahamas found itself, along with some of its regional counterparts, having to defend its labor practices as the United States claimed the Cuban Medical Mission Program, which extends here, has been used to cover up various labor violations. Well, since then, the program has been under heavy review, with the Bahamas promising to get to the bottom of what's going on. And in the House of Assembly today, the health minister used a portion of his contribution to the budget debate to provide an update. Corval Pyfram is here with more. Corval?
Makushla, good evening. In the lower chamber today, Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville, though not conceding that the administration has caved to pressure from the U.S. government over the Cuban Medical Mission Program amid concerns of alleged labor abuses, did reveal today major changes to the program.
All further recruitment exercises of Cuban teachers and healthcare workers are currently on hold pending the outcome of the ongoing discussions between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our relevant counterparts in the United States.
Back in April, media reports surfaced along with an alleged leaked document that showed a Cuban state company was pocketing up to 92% of the funds paid by the Bahamas to Cuban healthcare workers. The report prompting the Trump administration to renew its clampdown of the program by also threatening to revoke the visas of officials from countries that knowingly facilitate the Cuban regime's forced labor practices. The Bahamas has maintained it was unaware of any such violations. But since a meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio last month, with the program under increased scrutiny, the Davis administration now showing signs of a reversal in policy.
After fruitful negotiations, we are prepared to cancel all existing contractual agreements and enter into a direct contractual agreement with Cuban healthcare professionals currently in the Bahamas.
As for the outcome of the Cuban workers' decision, the health minister was clear.
Those who agree to these terms will sign the new employment agreement by my ministry and remain in country for deployment across the Family Islands. Those who are not interested in this new arrangement will be given time to wrap up their affairs and return to Cuba.
He also laid out alternatives to addressing the country's healthcare shortages.
In the meantime, my ministry will continue recruitment of specialist nurses and allied healthcare professionals from Africa, the Philippines, India, to address the short-term shortages that exist in the country and continue to train Bahamians to capitalize on these lucrative employment opportunities.
Now, Makushla, we should point out that Dr. Darville was not clear about any time specifics regarding those new contracts with those Cuban healthcare professionals. Makushla?
Well, thanks, Corvell. Now, we can also tell you tonight that Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville, though not conceding that the administration has caved in to pressure from the U.S. government over the Cuban medical mission program amid concerns. Also coming from the Health Minister, hope on the horizon for those battling kidney disease. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville sharing in the House of Assembly a major milestone in healthcare in the Bahamas.
I am pleased to report to this honorable House that after 2 years of preparatory work, my ministry's organ transplant program, funded by line item 228-1189 in the budget, is paying off and bringing forth fruit.
Now, with a growing number of patients facing end-stage renal disease, which the minister says is now a growing public health concern, this week the country is poised to make history.
I'm pleased to announce on June the 18th, 2 days from now, our lead consultants at the Princess Margaret Hospital, along with 3 distinguished transplant surgeons from Trinidad and Barbados, in the country for the 23rd Annual Caribbean College of Surgeons Conference, will perform a live donor kidney transplant on a Bahamian patient at the Princess Margaret Hospital. This will be a part of the official launch of my ministry's long-awaited kidney transplant program.
House members also heard from the Energy and Transport Minister, who touted that the rollout of the national energy policy will place the Bahamas ahead of its goal of having 30% renewable energy generation by 2030. Felicity Darville tells us more.
Pillars of the national energy policy include the Renewable Energy Program, solar energy microgrids, and alternative sources of fuel like LNG. Minister JoBeth Colby-Davis said these initiatives will place the country ahead of its target.
Currently, we're marked at 7% renewable in our country. The completion of these projects is projected that by 2030, our target was 30% by 2030. Is projecting to bring us approximately to 33%, surpassing the national target of 30%.
With ambitious goals, Minister Colby-Davis told Parliament about the implementation of the new Energy Roadmap Phase 1.
So our customers no longer need to worry about extensive outages or appliances having issues. This transformation also ensures stable and predictable pricing, levelized cost of energy, something every household and business can depend on. It also means introducing clean, renewable energy into our system. And lastly, for those in the audience considering a career in energy, the initiative offers extensive skills training that will make our energy workers in the Bahamas the best skilled workforce by far in all the Caribbean.
She stressed that all of this is coming about without privatizing BPL. In one public-private partnership, the government will own 40% of the shares in a special purpose vehicle called Bahamas Grid Company, and Island Grid Solutions, the Bahamian arm of the Pike Corporation, will own 60%. She explained why this power purchase agreement is vital.
Doing a PPA takes away the burden and the cost of BPL. One, having to rent generators and provide the fuel for it, but also 2, getting new engines that can utilize LNG.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Meantime, the minister with cabinet responsibility for the Water and Sewage Corporation, Leon Lundy, today using a portion of his budget contribution to tout the progress the state-owned agency has made over the past year, and this includes its non-revenue water program.
New Providence was distributing 11.9 million imperial gallons per day, but only selling $5.02 million, Mr. Deputy. That's less than 50% of the water being sold that was produced. Today, despite distributing slightly less at 11.66 million gallons per day, we are selling 8.34 million gallons, a 3.32 million gallon increase from previous years, Mr. Deputy. This increase demonstrates our improved efficiency and our commitment to getting value from every gallon produced. In 2024, the corporation's revenues rose to $60.9 million, a 7.4% increase over the previous year, driven by volume, not price.
Now, meantime, WSC's operating expenses were pegged at $113 million with a net operating loss of $50.1 million, and that's an improvement of $53.6 million. This while government subvention increased from $46.3 million to $64.9 million. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC is finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Honestly, ain't making no sense, man. How people making it out here, Dre? If you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you gotta learn how to budget. First, write down all of your income. Then, list out all of your expenses. And don't forget to save. Stop throwing away money. Put something aside for savings. And get this, government savings bonds can safely grow your money. So start budgeting, save your coins, and invest smart. Financial independence, right? Wait, financial independence, right?
Learn how to invest in government savings bonds on the Central Bank of the Bahamas website.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Well, you're looking at a shot there of Venetian West. Welcome back. Police officers hitting the pavements, offering a listening ear and assurances in the face of a bloody weekend here in the capital that left 3 dead and 2 wounded. West Alex Forbes takes it from here.
Hours after the life of another father was snuffed out here in the capital, senior police officers, about 15 strong, hit the ground this morning, assuring residents of Cotto Avenue of their presence.
We had to come in this area to really hear the concerns from the general public. They are pleased to see the police. They want to see more policing. They want to see more patrol. And I can tell you, with that said, we will have a number of patrols in these areas starting from now.
That now comes fresh on the heel of another father losing his life to gunfire, and on Father's Day. According to police, a group of people were outside of a home on Cotto Avenue when a white Jeep pulled up. The occupants reportedly opened fire, wounding 3 people, 1 fatal. Earlier that same day, Police Reserve Inspector Lennox Williams was ambushed and shot while reportedly making a deposit. Superintendent Pratt echoed a sentiment shared by his commissioner on that particular scene.
You have to be more about of what you're doing when you're going to the bank. She's saying to the general public is that, listen, if you need your money to be transferred, just get on to a police control room, call the police and say, listen, we need some help removing our money.
You should also keep this in mind.
If you need to deposit a large sum of money, we want you to do it in a more densely populated area where people are moving. Do not wait for a Sunday when nobody's around and then you're taking a chance to go to the bank to deposit money. Listen, the crooks work just like the police. And the crooks understand how we work.
Meanwhile, police are reminding anyone with information on either of the recent slaying to come forward. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
As you just heard, among the 3 men shot and killed yesterday was father and reserved police inspector Lennox Williams, whose family grappled with the grim task this morning of identifying his lifeless body in the morgue. Our Daniel Dean spent a few moments with relatives.
Roughly 24 hours ago, a cold-blooded broad daylight shooting in this very plaza. Now the distraught family of former police reservist Lennox Williams struggle to pick up the pieces.
He tried to be there for everyone, and no matter what he was going through, he never really asked anybody for help. He would just go and volunteer help.
Inspector Lennox Williams' first cousin, Dixie Jones, says her cousin was the kind to give his last to those around him without second thought, especially his kids.
Oh, great father. I went to church yesterday and they were talking somewhat about absentee fathers. That was so opposite to him. He was just the epitome of a father. His son died, as everybody knows now, on the son's birthday a few years back, and he was actually still grieving that. Then we lost our aunt who lived right here. She died at 102, and now him.
Williams served as a beloved president of St. Mary the Virgin Anglican Church Men's Group. His lifelong friend and fellow Anglican Church Men's Group member, Anthony Foster, now reflecting on his impact.
To leave church and then minutes later be told of that tragedy, it just struck a raw nerve.
Vice President of the group, Lorenzo Roll, described the president this way.
He's well known, well respected, well loved, and it would be difficult.
Williams' mom, according to the family, had just caught a flight from Turks and Caicos yesterday, and upon returning to the house she and her son lived in, got the worst news of her life. Offering condolences today was area MP, the Honourable Alfred Sayers, who says he knows the victim's mom, Mary Stovall, very well.
He was a faithful son, and I saw how he took care, supported his mom, also his aunt who lived to be over 100, and just, I mean, this is a solid family.
His mother visibly upset, and other family members hoping the perpetrators that flipped their world upside down are brought to justice. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
On a lighter note, an appointment more than 30 years in the making and one intended to add greater efficiency to the highest court. Lord Allen has the details of the newest addition to the Court of Appeal.
Having spent more than 3 decades helping to develop the legal system here in the country, on Monday, the Honorable Madam Justice Deborah Frazier became the newest Justice of the Court of Appeal, the ceremony attended by a number of persons in the legal fraternity.
I, Deborah Frazier, do swear that I will well and truly serve His Majesty King Charles III, his heirs and successors, in the office of Justice of the Court of Appeal.
Celebrated by those she's worked closely with over the years, including the President of the Court of Appeal and the Chief Justice, Frazier is seen as an asset to the legal proceedings and the judiciary.
It is certainly a significant accomplishment. The Court of Appeal is the highest court in this country, domestically located, and for, I dare say, 95% of the persons who litigate in this country, that is the final court in which they will have their matters determined.
She's someone who has always been diligent, always interested in the law, and basically is a comfortable person to work with. You know, it's always important to have knowledgeable persons, but it's also important to have persons who you can work with.
Justice Frazier also sharing a light-hearted moment with the Governor General, whom she would have built rapport with over the years, having filled in for the Chief Justice on a number of occasions. Now, Frazier says moving forward, she wants to further the impact toward reform.
I'm looking forward to having more to contribute in terms of the development of our jurisprudence in the Bahamas, in terms of the various aspects of the law which require or are in need of reform.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
What you doing, man?
I'm getting ready for this heat, boy. But you want to see what's in this box? The ghost pepper chicken sandwich, boy. Get an apple pie, fries, and ghost pepper chicken wing. See it? You look at me? Four. Yeah, boy.
Try our new ghost pepper chicken box today. Available for a limited time only.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Are you straight? Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you on a live?
Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive fiber services when you port your landline.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code. Select your payment amount and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Bahamas Air stepping in to fill the void Silver Airways left after filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and ceasing operations on June 11th. And Director of Aviation and Deputy Director General of Tourism, Dr. Kenneth Romer, couldn't be more pleased.
When we look at the gaps left by Silver's operations out of Lauderdale into our family islands, we know that Bahamas Air also currently services some of these exact routes. When it comes to your Georgetown, Exuma, Silver Airways currently operated 1 flight per week there. Bahamas Air is resuming that Lauderdale, Georgetown on the 23rd of June. We've been in discussions about how we can ramp up support Bahamas Air about offering a Lauderdale, Eleuthera, North Eleuthera direct this year. We're very optimistic again that we're going to get additional airlift into Bimini over the next several months. Exploring again additional airlift between Lauderdale and Mars Harbor. These markets will remain a key priority for us.
Well, it's about that time to check in with LaDawn and Marlena, who join us live for a sneak peek of Access Now. Ladies?
Well, Makashla, a new restaurant called Kosa One is about to hit the Atlanta. I think it's open at the Atlanta's Paradise Island Resort. And guess what? We love to eat. And I think conch and grouper is on the menu, Marlena.
I think it's some kind of fusion. All I know is I'm always happy to have new options. So I'm really excited about that. For sure. And I saw somewhere it means Paradise Island. So
Yes,
that's also pretty clever. You know?
Yes, yes.
You have to go try it sometime.
Sounds good. Stay with us. The National Report is back after the break.
Diet-friendly special.
of Education and Technical and Vocational Training's National Report Card Day is Thursday, June 19th, 2025, between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All parents are urged to collect their children's report card during this time.
As a professional graphic artist, I work from anywhere in the world. When I travel, I try to keep up with my paperwork and bills as much as possible, utilizing NIB's ESS, or Employee Self-Service Portal, to submit my monthly payment and to upload my contribution statement makes life easier. The portal is pretty easy to use too. I consider it to be user-friendly. It asks all the necessary questions to guide me through uploading my contribution statement, and I like that it calculates my payments. The NIB representative who showed me how to use the portal, she was patient, friendly, and knowledgeable. I used to fill out my contribution statement manually and visit an NIB office every month to make payments. But now the ESS portal allows for the entire process to be completed online in a time-efficient manner. Like, yay, thank you, that's done. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
When your hands are too full, life is just too complicated. Lala, Sally, come here. Uncomplicate. Go faster, safer, greener with the digital way to pay. With Tap to Pay, it's as easy as a gentle touch. No more headaches. Say hello to convenience. The future of pay is digital with options like credit cards, debit cards, online banking, and digital wallets. Make every experience unforgettable. Embrace the ease of digital payments today.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation?
You mean the Ministry of Tourism?
No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps in develop and grow Bahamian businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what they say, boy?
Oh, yeah.
Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying do?
What does do?
Wait, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Launching a series of regional travel and marketing missions in Florida, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, addressed the need to tap into one of the Bahamas' most profitable and culturally connected markets.
This is an exciting hub, not just attracting the potential visitors from the surrounding areas, but we recognize that Latin America, Caribbean, all traverse the airport here at Miami. And we want to ensure that we bolster our place in this market. Today we are continuing our trek to talk with as many travel advisors as possible, travel media, stakeholders. We met today with airlines. We have hotel partners that we're going to meet today. But the reality is we want to share the story of the islands of the Bahamas, a lifetime of islands, a lifetime of experiences. And we want to take it to every city, as many as possible across the USA.
Director General of the Ministry of Tourism, Latia Duncombe, highlighted the need to share more of the Bahamas with the rest of the world.
Yesterday we were in Orlando. Today we are in Miami. We brought a taste to the Bahamas with Chef Simeon Hall. We brought some of our culture and entertainment with John Canoe and also Abby, the Bahamian singer. And during this time, we provide updates reminding everyone about what we have to offer in the destination. Sometimes we think that our travel agents and our advisors are aware and up to date about everything that's going on. But it's always special when we're in market and do the show and tell and they experience the destination. That energy, that excitement, that exuberance, they all left away thinking about how they're going to now visit the destination and then also promote the destination.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Bahamas Air and the Jamaica Tourist Board make a great partnership. Details ahead.
You know, speaking of a great partnership, Doctors Hospital partners with the public and pulls off a very successful blood drive.
Plus, from Bangkok to Nassau with love, take a look at the latest Thai restaurant at Atlantis. Stay close for that.
And coming up in sports, it's a wrap for the NCAA championship.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Fresh off the weekend, Marlena, I'm all charged up and ready to go.
Love it. Nothing like a weekend recharge to get you going. I'm right there with you, but you know what? I couldn't help but notice you had some fresh gifts, showered with even more gifts today, LaDawn. So congratulations again.
Thank you. But let's dive right into the news, shall we? Bahamas Air and the Jamaica Tourist Board reaffirmed their growing partnership during a joint press conference at the Bahamas Resort with officials on both sides celebrating the success the initiative has had on the development of each country. Deputy Director General of Tourism and Director of Aviation, Dr. Kenneth Romer, stating that this merger is the perfect example of what can happen when two CARICOM nations strategize and unionize.
There have been discussions again at the CARICOM level, at the CTO level, with identified countries as to how we could connect the Caribbean so that we are offering a multi-destination vacation experience within the Caribbean. We know that Bahamas and Jamaica have both been at the forefront of that discussion. How is it that persons could spend time in the Bahamas and then extend their vacations in Jamaica?
Deputy Director of Jamaica Tourist Board, Philip Rose, echoing Romer's statements, insisting that more elaborate campaigns are planned for future release, allowing the global audience to understand the benefit of traveling between both Caribbean countries.
Our plans are to serve up engaging content to Bahamians to invite them to Jamaica. And more important to that, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but we don't only want Jamaicans coming to Bahamas and Bahamas going to Jamaica. We're thinking about ways in which to bring long-haul visitors from 5, 6, 7 hours away and say, if you're going to come to the region, spend a few days in the Bahamas, spend a few days in Jamaica, thereby allowing us to curate what is truly a magical and, dare I say, even perfect Caribbean experience.
In a life-saving effort to support patients in need, Doctors Hospital hosted a community blood drive, drawing dozens of donors from across the island. Our Amaya Moss was on the scene and brings us the details on how a simple act of giving can help save countless lives.
It was a day of giving at Doctors Hospital as locals came together to pump hope into the veins of the community, one blood donation at a time, fueling a cause that can mean the difference between life and death. The individuals behind the blood drive, Cutel Taylor and Brenson Roll, provided insight on their vision for the initiative and the life-saving message they hope to spread.
Well, you know, accidents, emergencies, they happen instantly and they can't wait. So we really depend on the public, the community at hand to come out and replenish that critical source that patients would need in times of urgency. It could be your sister, your brother, your parent, your child. Those are the ones that depend on the public to come out and support us.
Blood Bank Supervisor Brenson Roll says the current shortage of blood remains a pressing issue, especially with their facility being one of the 2 major blood banks in the country, along with Princess Margaret Hospital. Roll stressed the urgent need for donations as hospitals are being challenged in meeting demands.
One key thing about blood is that it expires, and that's what a lot of people don't know. Every month, the blood banks around the world are looking for blood to replenish their blood banks, because whatever we don't utilize within a month or 35 days has to be destroyed. All right, because it's no longer viable to give to somebody else. We have more and more elective surgeries, more and more accidents. We have one of the highest rates of dialysis in the region. So all these account for why we also need blood in the blood bank.
Roll added that educating the public is crucial, and efforts to boost public awareness about blood donations will continue.
And we have to do our part to educate the public onto this, because as many times as you may see us out on the road, we still find people not knowing the facts about blood, the fact that it does have an expiration date, the fact that blood compatibility does matter. So we are going to do our part to continue to educate the public and all the forums and go out and reach out in our outreach systems to let them know, hey, this is why we always need blood. This is why it's important to come out and donate, because it affects us all.
At the Doctors Hospital blood drive, people are coming out and showing up in hopes of saving a life. It also proves that superheroes don't always have to wear capes. Sometimes it takes you to just roll up your sleeve. For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Amaya Moss.
Thanks a lot, Amaya. Well, Atlantis has yet another great restaurant, from Bangkok to New York and now the Bahamas. Chef Kitty Shai revealed how local staples like conch and grouper have inspired his Thai menu, where Bahamians have a chance to taste Thailand through the Bahamian waters and culture. West Calix Forbes reports.
There is a sizzling new addition to the culinary scene at Paradise Island, and it's bringing the heat Thai style. Koh Sawan, which is paradise in Thai, is opened for a limited time at the Cove. And at the heart of this modern Thai dining experience is none other than award-winning celebrity Chef Ian Kittichai. Known across the globe for his imaginative, flavor-forward cuisines, Chef Kittichai is fusing Bahamian ingredients with traditional Thai techniques.
Well, first of all, the customer or the guest will taste all the Thai flavor, which is we brought it over from Thailand. You know, the Thai flavor is just about the freshness. We have fresh herbs, lemongrass, galangao, kaffir lime leaves, magrood, and then all the freshness because of Without all the fresh ingredients, we cannot make Thai food.
Guests can expect a multi-savory journey from start to finish. Kedichai, who has helmed kitchen from Bangkok to New York, brings decades of experience and culinary philosophy rooted in storytelling.
So we also using a lot of local ingredients. Of course, we use kong on our menu. We're making a pla, which is like 450 years ago. And one of the princess, they want to go to the picnic. So this dish kind of like making a dish to take out. We have one of the steamed fish with kind of like a curry paste mousse blended with the local fish, which is we use in the grouper. And then I think grouper is perfect for steaming. So we're using a lot of local ingredients here to making Thai dishes as well.
The ambiance of Koh Sawan matches the culinary artistry, minimalist, serene, and drenched in soft golden lights, invoking the warmth of both tropics and Thai hospitality.
To be a part of the Atlantis in Bahamas, I think is one of a great opportunity to be here and then to show my cuisine or Thai cuisine to all the Bahamian, to the local, and then to all the guests who are actually coming here because of I think in Bahamas Island it's just a special place to be.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Thanks a lot, Wes. And still to come, let's talk a little about menopause with Patricia Lockhart. So keep it locked.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Come with us this June as ZNS Northern Service takes you on a journey to one of the most captivating islands in the Bahamas. And even the crystal waters of Ocean Key, we're showing you the best. Plus, an exclusive look at luxury and excitement at Resorts World Bimini. Join us on June 23rd through the 27th for news and daily shows live right here from Resorts World Bimini. Bimini awaits.
Here, these for you. These must have got false bottom, because they look empty to me. Not for long. You taking us shopping right now. For what? Things you're gonna need in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster. We know when we had one hurricane around here. That's it. We get 2 lakhs. It ain't only hurricane, we gotta worry about, we could have tsunami, or we could have earthquake. And they don't give you no time to go shopping. What kind of earthquake? Scientists just find one faulty line over there by my corner. And even though they say it's stationary, it's there. So we need to go and get our survival kit. Like what? What you mean, like what? Plastic bag to put your important papers in, like water, medication, flashlight, radio, canned goods, things you need, things you might need, just in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster. These 2 plastic containers, the children them could paint them up in their special colors so they could know what they're looking for when you send them to look for it. That's one thing I like about you. You always is ready.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast. Dry conditions continue, but we still have a couple of spotty showers just to the west of Andros, and that has been migrated towards the west. And our boating forecast tonight, well, that's brought to you by Live Business, where we bulk up your business. For the northwestern islands tonight through the middle of the week, right into Wednesday, those winds will be out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide takes place at 30 minutes past midnight. You can expect your low tide at 7:02 tomorrow morning. Now, for the central and southeastern islands through Wednesday, those winds are going to be southeast at 12 to 18 knots. The wave height 3 to 6 feet, so we're asking small craft to exercise caution in the central and southeastern islands right into Wednesday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Come on, bring it. Oh, jump. Woman pull up to Miami airport door with the biggest box I ever saw. She said, take this down to Bahamas there. You get a big
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update. Malina?
Thanks, Basil. Well, so many women suffer from severe symptoms of menopause in silence. It's good to know that there is an organization who knows all about it and is willing to help. Patrice Lockhart, menopause health practitioner, joins us tonight. Welcome to Access Now.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, Patrice, menopause, why did you decide to be an advocate for this particular health issue?
Actually, because of my own personal experience. Coming into menopause, there was no support. For me, for 8 years, 8 doctors, no one told me I was in menopause. And it wasn't until in the middle of a night, I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack. I call a girlfriend, I think I'm gonna die, I'm afraid. And in that moment, she helped me to understand what was going on. And like many Bahamians I've found, we go into it and we think we're too young. So even though I had read about it and everything was pointing to the fact that I was perimenopausal, and as far as I was concerned, that only happened to old women. So that began a journey for me.
Amazing. Now, about your organization thus far, what have been some of the focuses for you guys in raising awareness, since, like you said, you didn't even realize that that's what was happening?
Yes. Well, last year, for the first time, we recognized Menopause Awareness Month, and our First Lady of the country, she was the spokesperson, and we went throughout a couple of the islands I did a number of seminars. We did a number of things to create awareness. We did a lot of social media stuff, etc. And even the OAS congratulated the head of the country for recognizing menopause and what's happening with women. So we have been pretty busy.
Right. And you've got a pretty special fundraiser coming up soon, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, June 28th at the Holy Cross Anglican Church. We're going to have a chat, sip, and paint. And it's an environment for women to come, to be relaxed, and we're gonna talk about menopause, and we're gonna paint, and we're gonna have fun. And we are inviting women throughout the country to come and be a part of this. We suffer from so many taboos where we're not aware of what's going on, and I can tell you, we are always so sure about our facts, and research shows that so much of what we have been thinking is inaccurate.
Right.
And so one of our goals, it's called Surviving and Thriving Through Menopause. One of our goals is to educate the Bahamian public, to give information, to make even the workplace aware that menopause has been flying under the radar even in the workplace.
Amazing. So just before we go, do you have any other fundraisers coming up, and where do the funds that come out of these fundraisers go?
Well, our goal, October is Menopause Awareness Month, and October 18th is Menopause Awareness Day. And this year, one of the things that we want to do is to create forums for women to be able to come free of charge. And so we are looking at doing a number of things to create the awareness, to have funding so that we can have these open forums. Our goal is an open forums for where women can hear about menopause and talk about it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Patrice. Best of luck with your upcoming fundraiser, and we hope to see you back again soon.
Thank you.
As for us, let's check in with ZNS Total Sports to see what's on tap.
Coming up in sports, a few Bahamian athletes wrap up their NCAA track and field championship journey. More details coming up next.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm a survey enumerator with the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, or BNSI. For the next few months, we will be conducting the Household Expenditure Survey on various islands.
You might be wondering, why is this survey important? Well, it helps us to determine the poverty line and assess how to ensure everyone has access to the basic services they need. This information is used by the government, businesses, researchers, and students to make informed decisions and plan for the future. We know that your time is valuable, which is why we've made the survey as simple and easy as possible. And don't worry, all your information you provide is confidential.
Your participation will help us gather accurate information that will benefit everyone in the Bahamas. Thank you for your cooperation and being a part of shaping the future of the Bahamas.
Ruby's Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech.
Saving money is tough until you shop the specials at Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Kraft macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounces, $1.19. Kellogg's giant size cereals, assorted 23 to 28 ounces, $6.39. Sweet peaches, $1.99 per pound. Whole chicken wings, $1.69 per pound. Super Value butane gas, 8 ounces, $1.99. Join the Super Value Quality Points program at any Super Value or Quality supermarkets.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Swanson Gibson Jr. Topping sports, the NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championships concluded over the weekend in Eugene, Oregon. The final day gave way to a few Bahamian athletes, leaving it all on the line in an attempt to capture a national title. Anthea Charlton of Florida participating in the women's 100-meter final. The young sprinter finished in 4th place with a time of 11.19 seconds. This performance, the best by a Florida Gator since 2008. This also serves as Charlton's second top 5 finish at this year's NCAA Championships. Earlier in the meet, she also took flight in the women's long jump finals, totaling 6.58 meters and finishing 5th in the nation. Charlton spoke about her performances this season and adjustments paying off significantly.
I took it all in. I knew it was now or never. Like, obviously, I have an outdoor. The goal was to not take it. So I knew I had to do everything in my powers to have an amazing season. And started off really well, finishing really well. And it definitely motivates me to go hard, try harder, because, and I said this when I was at Kentucky running really well, I'm doing so many things wrong that when I start to do them right, like, it's gonna be crazy. Like, so this year we started doing some things right. There are still some things wrong, obviously. But if there was nothing wrong, there'd be no room to improve, and I'd be stuck at 10-8.
The Florida Gator also discussed being motivated by her coaches.
It's a great feeling because when you have people around you that know and you're the only one that doesn't, like from the coach at Kentucky, when they saw me run for the first time, they was like, that's it. And then Florida taking a chance on me, like he told me coming in, he's like, I don't know how talented I truly am, and I didn't know, like, I knew I was capable of great things, but like, you know, the things I have accomplished is like, wow, but I'm the only one shocked apparently.
And in the men's 4x1 relay final, Zion Campbell with a strong showing as the first leg for the Minnesota Golden Gopher squad. A gold medal seemed within reach, but it would be a heartbreaking end as Minnesota's anchor pulls up several meters shy of the finish line. The Gophers finished in 7th place, clocking 38.88 seconds. Campbell and company received first-team All-American honors for their performance at the NCAA Championships. I'm Swanson Gibson Jr., and that's been your Monday Sports Check. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
We got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
This summer, make your statement in color. Ramilda Rose Designs proudly presents the Bohemia Print Collection, a vibrant tribute to island elegance and effortless style. Available now for pre-order and officially launching June 8th. Be bold, be beautiful. Let your style speak Bahamian boldness. Place your orders today at RamildaRoseDesigns.net. Ramilda Rose Designs, where fashion meets heritage.
looking at a shot of Nassau Cruise Port by our drone pilot, Big Neb. 4 cruise ships are out there with passengers enjoying that beautiful sunset. And you know, you just can't beat the beauty of the islands of the Bahamas. Well, let's take a flight down to Exuma. Let's go.
Just last week, Charles Fisher got a chance to speak with the Bahamian Commissioner of Miramar, Alvaro Sherazard, in Exuma. Tonight, he chats with her staff. Here's the story.
They were all presented with Bahamian souvenirs, a real island welcome from the Baritari community. Miramar Commissioner and Bahamian descent Alfred Mackenzie Sherazard making sure her fellow delegates got to see what the Bahamas has to offer.
I have here with me Mrs. Sean Gale, our Assistant City Manager, and we have an incomparable young man from our Economic Development Department, Mr. Paul Giroge. And so showing others who would have never probably landing in my country just how the Bahamas boogies, because we have a really good time here. And so a big part of that was giving them the experience of the sailing, giving them the experience of being on the open ocean, and how the connection to the sea and the people is so strong right here in Baritari. Connection is big for me, and this helped me to do that.
Here for the first time, Economics and Business Development Specialist Paul Sharagay.
I'm speechless. I touched the water, I touched the food. It's amazing. Yeah.
What do you take from this experience?
One thing that I take is when you see cars on the side of the road, they're not stalled. They're just catching some crabs. So that's one thing I take. And then the next one is life is simple. Keep it that way.
As for his expectations, having not visited the Bahamas before,
I was thinking everybody would be bustle and muscle of the islands, but no, I've come to find the love and the slowness of it, and that's what I love most about it. Commissioner Chazard was like, "You're gonna love it," and I've loved it. And she has opened my eyes to what is possible in the Bahamas, Exuma especially, and Baratai. So that's a beautiful thing.
you guys are welcome back anytime. For Access Now, I'm Charles Fisher.
Great story, Fisher. Can't wait to see what's next coming out of Exuma. But for tonight, let's turn things over to Matea Cunningham and let's talk socials.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Socials with myself, your host, Matea Cunningham. Today, we're discussing a movie that's been on the tip of everyone's tongue the past 2 weeks. I'll give you a hint. Taraji P. Henson, Tears and Agony. Now, to be fair, most of Taraji's characters share these tropes in common, but if you're thinking the movie Straw, you are absolutely correct. Straw is a Tyler Perry film starring Henson, and I won't spoil it for you, but what I will say is that her character embodies the struggles of poor Black mothers in a way that leaves you in suspense and sorrow. Social media users are saying it's one of Tyler Perry's best films, and that the acting was impeccable. Not only did we see Henson, but we saw iconic actors from the 90s like Sinbad and Glenn Turman. Is this a different world or what? Check out these social media clips.
What? She died. Oh. She had a seizure last night. We took her to the hospital.
Move. Hold your freaking fire. Shania, I need you to work with me. I'm your girl. You my girl. Don't you know that we love you?
Wait a damn minute. Now, while the reactions are mostly positive, there are some folk who aren't too happy with the portrayal of Black women in this movie, or any Tyler Perry movie really. But this is where I need you guys, my audience, to come in. What do you think? For those who've watched the movie, what are your opinions? For those who've only seen clippings, is it a movie you'd watch? Drop it in the comments below. Again, I'm Matea, and we'll meet right back here tomorrow. Toodles.
Toodles indeed. Well, that does it for Access Now for tonight. Make sure to join us tomorrow night when St. Agnes music director will be live in studio.
Yes, but stay tuned for the rundown with Clint Watson. His guests tonight are former ACP Stefan Dean and pastor of Bahamas Faith Ministries, Dr. Dave Burrows.
Good night, everybody.
Come with us this June as ZNS Northern Service takes you on a journey to one of the most captivating islands in the Bahamas.
And even the crystal waters of Ocean Key, we're showing you the best. Plus, an exclusive look at luxury and excitement at Resorts World Bimini.
Join us on June 23rd through the 27th for news and daily shows live right here from Resorts World Bimini.
Bimini awaits.
What does disability look like? In a busy airport terminal, at the check-in counter, at security checkpoints, or even in baggage claim? Passengers with hidden disabilities often go unnoticed. Globally, 1 in 7 persons have some form of a disability. 80% of those disabilities are non-visible. In an airport environment, workers are often unaware of hidden physical, mental, or neurological disabilities that some passengers live with. This can lead to frustration and a less than ideal travel experience. So, how do we make the invisible more visible? At LPIA, we've implemented the Sunflower Lanyard program. The lanyards are visual cues for airport workers to immediately identify passengers who might need additional assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free Sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Rundown. It's great to have you with us at the start of another week. We've got a lot to get to tonight, and of course, we want to jump right into our stories tonight. Well, first, earlier this year, the Bahamas found itself, along with some of our regional counterparts, having to defend its labor practices as the United States claimed that the Cuban Medical Mission Program, which extends here, has been used to cover up various labor violations. Since then, the program has been under heavy review, with the Bahamas promising to get to the bottom of what's going on. And in the House of Assembly today, the health minister used a portion of his contribution to the budget debate to provide an update. Corville Pfeiffer reports tonight.
I'm pleased to announce on June the 18th, 2 days from now, our lead consultants at the Princess Margaret Hospital, along with 3 distinguished transplant surgeons from Trinidad and Barbados, in the country for the 23rd Annual Caribbean College of Surgeons Conference, will perform a live donor kidney transplant on a Bahamian patient at the Princess Margaret Hospital. This will be a part of the official launch of my ministry's long-awaited kidney transplant program.
All right, that story there obviously wasn't the story we're talking about, but that is an important story we're going to get to with, of course, a number of growing patients facing end-stage renal disease, which the minister says is now a growing public health concern. This week, the country is poised to make history, and he's talking there about doing that first transplant surgery that will take place in the country, and that's going to be historic by its very nature. As to Dr. Darville talking about this new initiative with screening of healthcare providers from Cuba, we have that story we'll call apart from. Let's go to that. Okay, we don't have that story, but let me sum it up to you as to what is taking place. Obviously, the government is serious about being able to address it. And what they're hoping to do is to be able to find a way to ensure that with healthcare, they're able to get the expertise from Cuba, but also to follow the protocols to ensure that there's no issue of concern between the Bahamas and Cuba. And that's what they've been discussing over the past few months. Dr. Darville and his team believe they have a plan to be able to continue to be able to get that kind of assistance, but do it in a more transparent way that does not avoid or break any of the protocols. You hear us talk more about that this week. I want to move to some issues and some stories now that many of you have been talking about, particularly over the weekend. Well, 3 men shot dead in broad daylight, one of them a police reserve officer. The streets of New Providence, obviously, once again, producing grief and fear. But tonight, West Calix Forbes tells us how the Royal Bahamas Police Force is taking a more visible approach to public safety for those in the Cordero Avenue area. Here's Wes's story.
Hours after the life of another father was snuffed out here in the capital, senior police officers, about 15 strong, hit the ground this morning, assuring residents of Cordero Avenue of their presence.
We had to come in this area to really hear the concerns from the general public. They are pleased to see the police. They want to see more policing. They want to see more patrol. And I can tell you, with that said, we will have a number of patrols in this area starting from now.
That now comes fresh on the heel of another father losing his life to gunfire, and on Father's Day. According to police, a group of people were outside of a home on Cordero Avenue when a white Jeep pulled up. The occupants reportedly opened fire, wounding 3 people, 1 fatal. Earlier that same day, Police Reserve Inspector Lennox Williams was ambushed and shot while reportedly making a deposit. Superintendent Pratt echoed a sentiment shared by his commissioner on that particular scene.
You have to be more about of what you're doing when you're going to the bank. She's saying to the general public is that, listen, if you need your money to be transferred, just get on to a police control room, call the police and say, listen, we need some help removing our money.
You should also keep this in mind.
If you need to deposit a large sum of money, we want you to do it in a more densely populated area where people are moving. Do not wait for a Sunday when nobody's around and then you're taking a chance to go to the bank to deposit money. Listen, the crooks work just like the police. And the crooks understand how we work.
Meanwhile, police are reminding anyone with information on either of the recent slaying to come forward. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
And so I know many people will sit back and say, oh, here we go again. Police are in the community again after these. But the presence of police, particularly after tragedies like this, is very important. It's more than just a cliche move to say to say we're in the community, but it's also to talk to the people who have been shaken up in that community and to be able to bring some level of support and calm to people who might be wondering what's going on in these communities. At the end of the day, police are working extremely hard, as police force tell you, to try and solve these crimes, but they have to also bring a sense of law and order to these communities, particularly after they've been rocked and shaken up by these kinds of terror. And so it's important for them to be seen in these communities after these incidences, to at least be able to talk to people to hear their frustration, hear their grievances, hear their concerns, and to be able to provide some level of support and address them. Well, as you just heard, among the 3 men shot and killed yesterday was Father and Reserve Police Inspector Lennox Williams, whose family grappled with the grim task this morning of identifying his lifeless body in the morgue. Daniel Dean tonight spent a few moments with the relatives, and she files this report.
Roughly 24 hours ago, a cold-blooded broad daylight shooting in this very plaza. Now the distraught family of former police reservist Lennox Williams struggle to pick up the pieces.
He tried to be there for everyone, and no matter what he was going through, he never really asked anybody for help. He would just go and volunteer help.
Inspector Lennox Williams' first cousin, Dixie Jones, says her cousin was the kind to give his last to those around him without second thought, especially his kids.
Oh, great father. I went to church yesterday and they were talking somewhat about absentee fathers. That was so opposite to him. He was just the epitome of a father. His son died, as everybody knows now, on the son's birthday a few years back, and he was actually still grieving that. Then we lost our aunt who lived right here. She died at 102, and now him.
Williams served as a beloved president of St. Mary the Virgin Anglican Church Men's Group. His lifelong friend and fellow Anglican Church Men's Group member, Anthony Foster, now reflecting on his impact.
To leave church and then minutes later be told of that tragedy, it just struck a raw nerve.
Vice President of the group, Lorenzo Roll, described the president this way.
He's well known, well respected, well loved, and it would be difficult.
Williams' mom, according to the family, had just caught a flight from Turks and Caicos yesterday, and upon returning to the house she and her son lived in, got the worst news of her life. Offering condolences today was area MP, the Honourable Alfred Sayers, who says he knows the victim's mom, Mary Stovall, very well.
He was a faithful son, and I saw how he took care, supported his mom, also his aunt who lived to be over 100, and just, I mean, this is a solid family.
His mother visibly upset, and other family members hoping the perpetrators that flipped their world upside down are brought to justice. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thank you, Danielle. It's unfortunate, and I think it brings us to where I want to carry this discussion tonight. It's sad that men who are upstanding and good in community and contributing to community, volunteering their services, no doubt, in the church. They probably wanted him to be able to do these deliveries because of his law enforcement background and being able to take the deposit safely for the church. Somebody who was armed and obviously should have a little more protection, and then this happens, right? And you wonder, well, can you not go to the ATM? Can you not go to the night deposit and not fear repercussions of this nature in broad daylight, right? And it makes you wonder what happens in our country. It makes you wonder, what are we doing in our country when we don't understand the seriousness of violence that perpetuates our streets? And this social ill is one that has to be addressed by individuals, right? No matter how many programs you put in place, how many community projects you put in place, how many systems you put in place, people have to make individual decisions to want to do right and to want to make right decisions. And when people choose not to make right decisions, we have to look back as to what is happening to the individual that lives in our country and why are they choosing wrong over right. Why are they choosing to go left instead of right? Why are they choosing to do sad things and bad things rather than good things? And that brings us back to individual decisions, deciding that I'm going to be an upstanding member of society. I'm going to do what is right versus doing what is wrong. There's an absence of good consciousness, it seems, among young men in our country today. We're going to talk a lot more about that tonight, because that's going to be the center of our discussion tonight. We need to talk more about how we got here, how we're going to get out of here, and what we all need to play in society as a part of our roles in addressing it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, again, another late-breaking story, another shooting We're going to take you live to that scene. When we come back, my guests are here. We're going to talk about this tonight. We're not going to sweep it under the carpet. We're not going to kick the can down the road. We're going to address it head on tonight because we need intervention. We need it fast. You're watching the Rundown on the ZNS Network. We're back and we begin our discussion after the break.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training's National Report Card Day is Thursday, June 19th, 2025, between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. All parents are urged to collect their children's report card during this time.
After 30 years of banking, I've decided to take a leap of faith. I moved from banking into an untapped industry, which is manufacturing in the Bahamas. And now we are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has 2 arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. It's never been done before. It really makes a difference, not only in the Bahamas, but even around the world. This is not just a project that we're doing so that we can make a couple of dollars. We want to make sure that it benefits those who come after us. In future generations, we hope that this is a small vision, that they will take it and they'll expand on it. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Good evening and welcome back to the Rundown. A special thank you to all of you joining us on your various platforms around the region, around the Turks and Caicos Islands, around the world, here at home. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have breaking news to go to tonight as yet another shooting taking place in the Key West Street area, not far from yesterday's triple shooting. Our Corville Python is live on the scene tonight with the latest information. Corville, what can you tell us about this latest shooting?
Good evening to you, Clint, and not very far indeed from yesterday's incident. We're talking about 800 meters to the north of here is where yesterday's incident happened that resulted in the death of 1 person and 2 other people being wounded. What we understand happened here this evening is this. Police tell us that it was just after 6 this evening that a group was gathered in the home that you see just across my left shoulder here along Key West Street. That's when the occupants of a small Japanese vehicle pulled up on them, exited the vehicle, and then opened fire. We are told that several shots were fired. 1 person was shot. He was shot once during that round of shooting. Now, as for the person injured, we are told that he did suffer some serious injuries and was taken to hospital. When we got here on the scene, we saw police here doing their investigations. We also found a crowd of onlookers out on the street, and you'd imagine the tensions in this area are high given what happened here just yesterday. Now, police are unable to tell us whether these situations are all related, but like I said, these matters are under active investigation. Clint?
Let me ask you, Corville, because I can imagine how people are feeling right about now who live in these inner city communities. Is there any sign of expression from residents there that, listen, this is getting out of hand, we're concerned, we're in fear? What are you getting from people around?
You know, that's an interesting question because I'll tell you, while folks weren't willing to appear on camera with us tonight, everybody that came up to us had basically the same reaction. Not again. This is becoming ridiculous. Something's got to be done.
All right, Corbell Party from Thank-You. You're going to spin this story for us tonight. Thank you for reporting tonight. Well, on the heels of this latest shooting brings us to our discussion tonight. On Sunday, we celebrated Father's Day. It's a time when the microscope is on the male and the role he plays in society. But has society been fair, or is it the lack of responsibility why men find themselves in this predicament? Tonight, we have a deep discussion on the Bahamian male. Where have we gone wrong, and how do we fix the issue? We're always talking about the problems. How about the solutions tonight? That's what I want to focus on. Joining me tonight to discuss this is the former Assistant Commissioner of Police, now co-chair of Urban Renewal Commission, Stephen Dean, an author, pastor, expert in dealing with young men, young people. Pastor, we all know him. He's a pastor of Bahamas Faith Ministries International, Dr. Dave Burrows. Gentlemen, I'm honored to have both of you here tonight. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
And happy belated Father's Day to both of you.
Yes. Thank you.
Let's jump right into this, because I think at this point people just seem to be almost numb as to what is going on, right? And I think sometimes we're very reactionary as a country. When something serious happens, we all get angry, we all get passionate about it. 7 days later, it's as if nothing ever happened, and people are comfortable again. Right. How do we move people from this place of okay, listen, something else happened, to the place of no matter what, even in the good times, I'm not going to stop advocating that something must be done? Do you believe as a society we've accepted this, is where I want to start?
Well, I think we have accepted it to a certain extent, but really what needs to happen is not just being concerned, deciding what you will do. So there are a lot of people who are complaining, but there are not a lot of people who are actually working. In order for us to change the situation with young men, they will be what they see. And so if the only thing they see is violence, that's what they're going to be. So there has to be some persons in place who will show them something different. And that's critical.
You always talk about your story and the fact that you've had a stint in your life where you weren't the great roughneck pastor they called you back then, but you were actually a part of the problem.
Right.
What caused you to feel that being a part of the problem was okay, and that was, hey, that's my life?
Well, we have to understand that what's happening on the streets right now is business. So, you know, sometimes we look at the young men and we say, why don't they get along? Well, let's teach them conflict resolution. This isn't about that. It's about business. It's about survival. You know, you will find that most young men on the streets have a nickname, and that nickname means something. And when they step out of the door, they may be junior at home. Yeah. But on the streets, if they Scarface, they got to be Scarface.
Wow.
And Scarface is a means of survival. You know, a lot of the killings now are business related. When I say business related, I'm talking about street business. You know, it's territory, it's money, it's drugs or whatever it is. And once young men get in the game, it's almost too late. You know, so we really have to concentrate on reaching young men before they get caught up. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have to address it, you know, down the line as well. But it's always better to reach them before they get to that stage. And so we have to have a multi-layered approach. So you try to reach them before, and then the ones who are in problems, you try to steer them into programs or into situations where they can hear something different. You know, I have a friend who has a program. He's a businessman, he runs a program, and so guys who are coming out of prison, they go into that program, and many of those guys in that program, because I've assisted him with it, they said this is the first time they heard certain information.
Wow.
So we have to put them in position. We are asking them to have manners.
Right, to perform.
But they never had any instructions on manners. No. We're telling them, okay, you need to be a man. This is what a man is. But they have never heard it. They've never seen it. Because if you're in a home with no father, when you go to school, 99% of the teachers are female. Yeah. You haven't seen a positive male. So we have to put them in position. And one of the things that I've done recently, because I thought about it a lot, and I thought about how can we look at the solution side of it. And I came up with a program called the School of Manhood. So we're teaching young men from 10 years old what it is to be a man, because they probably haven't had a father that taught them. They haven't seen the examples, so they don't know what it is to be a man. So somebody has to tell them.
Stephen Dean, you spent perhaps most of your life as a police officer trying to deal and address these people. You've worked in urban renewal, you've worked with these people. What say you based on what you've seen?
Clint, thank you. What I equated to as the terminology and criminologists talked about, the conveyor belt of crime. All of these young men are moving on this belt. The belt has a starting point where you talk with broken homes, dysfunctional families, poverty, economic situations, feeling abused, being abused. The belt starts moving slowly. It is going along. The belt has 1 or 2 destinations: death, prison, or whatever. It's not that the end is not good of this. What happened, as you know, when we go to the airport, we say our luggage. That's not my luggage.
Right.
Let me pick this one off. So that's what's happening. We're being very selective on who we help on this belt.
Wow.
So we see a lot of young men moving on this belt because most time, Clint, when someone is arrested, someone said, you know, I noticed what's going to happen, you know. From high school, was a troublemaker. I saw the pattern. But we have these people on this conveyor belt. Wow. Nobody is, in some cases, you're not moving. We're being selective on who we're taking off the belt. If we take that man or young man off early, he wouldn't get to the armed robbery. He wouldn't get to the gang. And we know these things. These things are the obvious.
So why are we allowing them to go straight past us?
Because we have reached that point, you know, one time ago, and I look at the Anglo-Saxon time when a crime was committed. It was a responsibility of the male population to deal with crimes in the area. So when a crime was committed, even with a outbreak and a robbery, the whole community was alarmed. That all has been reversed now. Wow. Nobody's concerned no more. To some degree, you have a few people, advocates, pushing, but everybody's saying, my corner, I don't even know my neighbor today, and I'm not interested in knowing no neighbor. I'm not into that kind of thing. So we have got to this point, Clint, that we just see young men, you know, even some of our churches.
Yeah.
When church ought to be going.
The fellowship ain't there.
Oh, no, we're not going in no community, so to speak, along that line. Because church windows used to be open. The doors used to be wide open. Now it's air conditioned. Now it's locked up. You get security in the yard.
Matter of fact, a lot of the church programs, if you was to come in and watch, everything now online, everything now in Zoom room, so nobody can, if you ain't in the Zoom, you ain't getting nothing, church closed.
Everything is online, and I think times have been moving up with us, you know, because we don't have to do nothing, we don't have to be associated with nothing. I could watch television, I could watch what I want, I don't have to be nobody's friend. The young people, they don't really need friends. They'll be locked down in their PlayStations all day. They don't need no friends.
How much of an infiltration of social media and, well, media in general? Because now you can watch movies online on your phone, you can watch downloads and some of the stuff that people putting out there on social media, wondering, like, oh my God, are the children being introduced to this already? How much of this is impacting what's being put into our behemoths?
Well, I think we have to realize that we are living in a worldwide toxic culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially emanating from the U.S. So you have a culture now. Let's take music, for example. So there's a genre in the U.S. called drill rap.
Drill rap?
Yeah. So in drill rap, you kill somebody, you stream it online, you go and urinate on their grave, and you sing about it. Lil Durk is a drill rapper. They have, you know, many of the popular rappers. Let me give you another example. You have a guy like NBA Youngboy. He said on television, he said on YouTube, you're not a real man until you kill somebody. So you have this toxic culture where your reputation now is built upon body count. So you know, you are somebody based upon how many people you kill. And that's a part of the culture that's out there. That's a part of the gang culture. And then it's spread around the Caribbean because you have something in Trinidad now called Trinidad music.
Trinidad?
Yeah. And it's they call them bad boys, and they kill one another and they sing about it in the music. So that's the culture that we're living in, and we have to really try to change the culture. But a lot of people are not even aware of it. Because when I talk about it, most people have never heard about it. We have these guys coming in, we have artists coming in all the time who are promoting this stuff, and the country sometimes is not even aware of it,
And Clint, the reality, it exists, because the guy sees a lifestyle on social media. You see flashy cars, you see a fella living a life, he ain't working, you don't know how you get it, because this insatiable taste for this money, and to have it,
we like to show people we're successful quick.
We can get it.
We ain't willing to pay the price.
And our standards are high in the Bahamas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Immaterial to you say poverty exists, but watch around Valentine's. You can look through any community, everybody dressed up in the best, everybody top notch, and that's pressure. That puts pressure on parents. And I've seen houses where 3 cars in the yard, no electricity, no running water.
Wow.
The standards and the pressure we have, because we see on television, we see a standard, we see a lifestyle, and that's a quick lifestyle people want. And because, too, we have seen so many persons appear to be successful in that underground world, in a life of crime. Crime is just a big business. It's a big business. You will get into it today because it seems that everybody's influenced by it, and the money is out there, fueled by drugs. I just need to make one deal, and I'm living good. And society tends to glorify these persons. Because we look, say, the guy has a nice bike, man, I love that. Everything.
You're part of the commission for prison reform. Or prison.
I've done some work at the prison.
Right. And I want to ask, have we removed the fear out of the consequences that come with being caught in crime, that people feel it's okay to me to walk around in daylight and shoot a gun, because if I get catched, man, I can go up there, I can wait forever for my case, first of all. I can go up there, I can be right up there. Man, they're offering degrees up there now. You can walk out of prison in 4 years with a college degree. So hey, I can reform myself, but it can be worth taking this person out. How we remove the fear out of consequences?
I don't think I think that's still a problem, lagging problem, and it's growing. It's blooming that the fact that persons believe that nothing can happen.
Right.
The reality, most time these fellas on the streets committing crime, they already have a lawyer. Even before they commit a crime, they have a lawyer.
They have the person needs to go do whatever they get.
They have that set. It's like a system set. The guy tells you, okay, good, it's likely you could get bail in about 6 months. Good. Be prepared to do 6 months. Be prepared here. So it's a system already in place. They see the system work all the time in most cases. So I don't have no problem going up there spending 4 months. I can be out. I'm going to be out. But I must give credit to the new commissioner at the prison. One of the things he have started doing, that once you are sentenced in prison, you're not going to spend time in the cell. You got to do something. Whether you work in the yard, whether you go into a program, it's not going to be all day business in the cell. So that's one thing. I said that's a step in the direct, to some degree.
Yeah. I'm asking you, is it not punishment? Because listen, the condition some of these men live in, prison is a hotel.
Prison is a joke. Prison is a joke.
No, I know prison. Let me clear. I've been up there, I did a whole documentary on it, so I know there ain't no hotel.
No, ain't no hotel, but compared to where some people come from.
See, the thing about it is, when you understand the streets, survival, you don't have a choice. Prison is not a choice. No. So if you don't go to prison, you go to the graveyard.
Yes.
And people willing to do that, accept that.
Well, I mean, okay, if you have a choice as an individual where you're going to go to prison or go to the graveyard, which one would you choose?
True.
You can choose prison.
Yeah. True.
So they realize that prison is a part of the business. And sometimes you go to prison, and sometimes you don't. But we do need prison reform in the Bahamas, and especially with the facility. I don't know what the progress is, but if you go to prisons in the U.S., I've been to several prisons in the U.S., and you go to prison in the Bahamas, the prison in the Bahamas is inhumane.
It is. I've seen it.
And if people are going to be housed there, we should house them in a position where they could be productive. It doesn't mean luxury. It means basic human dignity. And I think that's important.
Yeah. Let's take a break. We can come up and continue our discussion with Dr. Dave Burrows and, of course, Stephen Dean. We're going to get to some solutions on how we're going to fix this problem in our country. The rundown, we're back after this.
Hey, ladies, where's the Dave? Oh, okay, thanks.
Greg, what's up?
Ready, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. He's meditating. You've got to give him at least an hour.
All right, well, I can wait. I ain't got nothing to do. Pin the tile sale now on to Independence.
Come with us this June as ZNS Northern Service takes you on a journey to one of the most captivating islands in the Bahamas. And even the crystal waters of Ocean Key, we're showing you the best. Plus, an exclusive look at luxury and excitement at Resorts World Bimini. Join us on June 23rd through the 27th for news and daily shows live right here from Resorts World Bimini. Bimini awaits.
Welcome back to the Rundown. My guest is Dr. Dave Burrows and, of course, former Assistant Commissioner of Police Stephen Dean. We're trying to get some understanding also you have some knowledge. I believe that we always talk and people are on social media expressing their frustration, but sometimes we need knowledge. We need information so that we understand what we're facing in our country and what it is that we need to see and advocate for so that we can see change in our country. And that's what it is we're all about tonight. You're talking to us about some of the things you've experienced and you've seen. We were talking about in the commercial break. I want to allow you to continue to talk.
Yeah, when we talk about the culture in the Bahamas, I remember I was doing an event with 13 to 16-year-olds. These are young people who were in trouble. And I was talking about how much...
13, hold on, pause. 13 to 16-year-olds.
Right.
And you said young people who are in trouble.
Right.
Not young.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
younger than that.
So I'm talking to this group, right? And I'm, talking to them about what's happening in the country and so on. And I say that, wow, people are doing hits for $1,000. A 13-year-old sitting right in the front of me said with me there, I'll do it for $300. A 13-year-old.
$300.
Yeah. There was another young fellow who was in juvenile, and the judge was talking with him, and he had 3 teardrops, right? And so the judge said to him, "Well, what's that?" He said, "Well, that's 3 people I killed." So she said, "Well, what about the one with a little hole in it?" She said, "I get him, but he didn't die." So that's the kind of environment that is out there. So, people caught up in the system, and once you're caught up in the system, it's a challenge, which is why when we're talking about solutions, you have to work on a multi-tiered situation. So law enforcement is essential, because without consequences, then people just do whatever they want to do. Right. But then you have to work on getting them before they get in trouble, and then after they get in trouble, giving them a way out. So you have to work at it on 3 levels. One program that I talked about is, and there are many people who are doing programs. So one program that I talked about is what I'm doing now, called the School of Manhood. Then there was a program called the Second Chance Program, and you have a number of programs like that. We need more people involved and more people trained in order to access, to intervene, and to mentor.
And these programs are important to identify people who may seem as if they're heading in the wrong direction. Let's grab you out of the system and let's try and get you back on track.
Yes. And Clint, and I go back to this, being my background in law enforcement, there's something we were taught. There's no perfect crime.
What do you mean by that?
It might be same and not solved. That means somebody knows about the crime. That's why you hear the police saying, if you have any information,
Yeah.
So we are appealing to people who sitting down, who have information, can solve a lot of crime, or know where guns or firearms are right now, who can point it to that, who could prevent possibly 2 more murders. But we've reached to that point, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to bother. And then a lot of people have surrendered to the criminals too, become fearful.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the challenge, because, you know, you as a regular citizen, if you go to the police, you in fear of what might happen to you.
Right.
And basically, the streets know what's happening. You know, there are guys who I used to work with years ago, and guys that I know. Everything that happens, every murder, they can tell me why and what it's about. And often the police know also, but they don't have the corroborating evidence to create a conviction.
Yes.
And this is a matter of survival in these communities. See, the reason why I keep going back to that is because so many Bahamians are not in these communities.
No, they
they sit void of these communities and wonder why. Why these people can't get along? Why do people kill each other? This is ridiculous, man. We got to do better. But they're not living in this community where if you snitch, so the little line, snitches get stitches. That's real.
It is real survival, because, you know, we had to work with people, you know, people up to the time I left were giving me information. You can't even tell nobody. You couldn't even tell your right hand, your left hand. But sometimes it's the same persons within these communities. You know, they want something to change, but they're in fear. You know, and they want to know they are trusted, that the information is trusted too. And I can tell you that so many systems are now put in place that you can get information. And I always tell persons, if you know a police officer who you know, that you think you can trust, there's some outstanding. And that happens. People give information, they give information. That's how crimes are solved. That's how crimes are solved. And parents, there are signs. And what I applaud some parents, some parents see indications of their children. And they bring them to the police and say, just have a little chat. I don't know. And that happens daily, because people don't see that side of the policing.
No, we don't hear about that.
You don't see that side of the policing. You don't see that because people would say, y'all are not locking for nobody.
Right.
You know, I still got the police blood in me, right? But every day you go to court, someone is being charged. Every day, a new person. Almost every day, a new person is going to prison. New person is going to prison. And so the challenge now with policing is not the challenge what I had in the past.
Right.
It's a difficult time now. You're dealing with a different mindset. We grew up in Sunday school. We were fearful. Now you hear what you see with the young people, they start getting fearful afterwards. But before, you'll be thinking, say, I don't want to get in trouble, I don't want to go to Foxhill, I don't want to go to prison. It doesn't matter. When they reach in prison, then they say, oh, I'm here. Then the thinking starts. And then one psychologist, he reminded me, said, in prison, this is the first time the guy is told, you go to bed at around 9 o'clock in the night. The lights have to be off. And when you get up, we do a prayer thing here, you do prayer. You can read Bible, you know, you've never read your Bible before. Yeah, you can do this now. So you are introduced to a number of behavioral patterns.
That you never had to do before.
You never had it. There was no discipline around the place. And so we say all people are created equal. But imagine a child in a home where the father's in prison when they were born.
Yeah.
The mother is on drugs when they are born. These are live stories.
Wow.
Then we talk about the family needs to get together. Tell me which family meeting can be?
Right.
Where? The mother is 13.
Yeah. Or to working two jobs.
Yeah, working.
Sure, they come home from school, it's up to them.
We have literally now children, young children have to walk their loved ones to school, while the mothers them have to go to work early
in the morning of their first
and they have to do a number of things. And that's why that breakfast program, people look at it, but Clint, that's a powerful program.
I know a lot of people complain about it, and I said to y'all, see, that's because breakfast to y'all seems so minor. Breakfast is automatic for y'all.
Oh my goodness.
But you don't understand, for so many people, they've been missing it.
Yes.
And it fills a serious void. I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think I went through some research, and all the statistics that I've seen indicate that the #1 problem that contributes to crime is fatherlessness.
Oh, yeah.
Fatherlessness. Yeah.
That's big.
They say, for example, in Georgia, according to one of the legal systems that they said, a child without a father is about 15 times more likely to commit a crime, end up in prison, commit suicide. Fatherlessness
Wow.
And the male and the absence of a father is a major problem. And in our world,
Herein lies our problem.
in our world today, you know, sometimes we say, well, you know, you should obey your parents. But a lot of kids today don't have parents. They have a baby daddy or a baby mother.
Different from parents.
That is different from the parent.
That's a different story.
You know, it's almost like if a dog has puppies, they don't pay attention, they don't care, so they just bring them into the world.
They produce.
Right.
And sometimes that's what you have. You don't have parents, you have baby daddies, baby mothers. So, and you also, there's also a need for constant parental training, because these kids who are having kids and these dysfunctional parents who are having children, they don't know how to be parents. Mm-hmm. And so we are angry with them, but they never been taught either.
Right.
So we have a nation of people who have not been schooled in what it is to be normal.
Let's face it, you know, and I think we don't think about it.
Yeah.
The way it was designed to be, obviously, parenting, was the mother, the father, you know, the husband and the wife came together, decided we want to build a family. We decide we want to have children because we want to love and nurture these children. And so we bring them up into a nice environment, and we have the nuclear family, and it's all peaches and cream. But that ain't, if we think about it, that's not how a lot of our people are born in the Bahamas.
It's totally different.
They're born out of, okay, we had a little encounter. This gone down. I was carrying on bad. I had to show you that I'm all mine, Tarzan. And boom. Oh, you pregnant? Oh, Jesus. You saw that's mine? And then boom. We have a child that's created out of a scenario that's not the best case scenario, out of a scenario where the mother didn't want to get pregnant. The father said, man, look at man, that's my, if I use that as my child,
that might be a 17 child.
So to them, it's just another, all it is a result of me showing you I strong and I healthy.
And so, Clint, that's why you see this role model that we can go, and I would use it in our community policing, in the policing background. And when you were there, that's why you could have had so many children acquiesce towards you, because they needed some leadership. Wow. They needed the powerful.
I watched them. When we were on that trip with Urban Renewal with you back in those days, I watched how those children in that band came around you because you were their father.
That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to fulfill the role, that role model. And it's so much, and they're looking for it, Clint. They're looking for it because you get the music program. These children, you get them into the band program, and they start playing an instrument. Had they had the opportunities, you know how much opportunity had been lost? And it's amazing that we have, you know, and I said that when you look at particularly these inner city communities, a lot of people in society who've done well came from these communities, and a lot have not looked back. A lot have not looked back to those communities. Because you'll hear historical things say, that's where this person used to live, this is where this person grew up.
Right.
But you can imagine if everybody come back, maybe put a little donation in that community. Maybe do something into the after-school program, as the case may be. Because when we run like summer camps and these programs, Clint, the parents can row us if we don't feed the children. Then the parents say they want breakfast too. So you have to have a program in place. You got to feed these children, and that's why I'm telling you the program is so important, and that's why you see a lot of children. We have had just about a few months ago, we got to home with someone's at home where the children didn't register for school. They a whole semester gone, they didn't register.
Never been to school?
No.
Whole semester?
Mother said, you know, I didn't get around to it and all kind of things. And that was it. It was all this. And we, you know, our people in Urban Renewal had to go and register, get them into school, get uniform, get all it. And it's a daily thing that is happening out there.
You got to take on the responsibilities of parents.
You have to take the responsibility on. Because, you know, the reality is that it's already brought to your attention. You know what's going to happen to that young girl if you don't deal with that right there. You know what's going to happen to that young boy. He's going to be recruited somewhere along the line.
And so here's what happened. They grow up, Pastor Dave, just like that. Almost like wolves in the thing.
Right.
And then they come to the public service or come to institutions like this for a job.
Oh, they want a job.
And then when you hire them, you got to figure out, well, why you don't know the basic ethics of business principles.
Spend more time training.
You got to train because they've never been taught. Respect. They taught you any kind of how, and you wonder why.
So we have to get young people positively engaged. So all of these programs are important. Just exposure to normal people makes a difference in their lives. So, you know, whether it's the baseball program,
Yes.
whether it's the band.
Yes, yes.
If young people are constructively engaged,
yes.
It creates a higher possibility of them succeeding. But if they are just left in the community and left around negative influences, the chances of them being successful is diminished.
But Clint, what I don't want to say, I don't want to come off the show saying we're castigating all the young people. No. Because there's some positive young people in those inner city communities are doing exceptionally well, are going through it. I know a girl who came up through our music program in the band, got scholarship away, still lives through one of those inner city community, is a doctor now.
Wow.
But still lives through there. Didn't succumb to the pressure.
Right.
But someone took her on.
That's it.
Someone took her on. Someone took her off the conveyor belt.
Right.
And that's what happened. So you find a lot of young people they're studying hard because we say go home and study.
Right.
But no electricity, how you get internet?
And then we tell you go and study, but we don't tell you how to study.
Yeah.
How do you study?
How do you study?
If that ain't been a part of your practice, what do you do? Go open a book and then what do you do?
No supervision.
No supervision.
And abuse in the home, you hear noise, cussing, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it becomes a normal, it becomes a normal trend.
Yeah, a lot of young people today have PTSD.
Yeah.
Because the things that they witness, when you have an environment where the child isn't wanted, you have dysfunctional parents, you have parents who are on drugs, who are in crime, who are in prostitution, and so on. The children are going to be traumatized. And so when they enter society, they already don't have positive role models, and it's hard for them to function. They may need therapy, they may need help, and there's no intervention. And so they end up becoming, so they've been abused, and then they become the abusers, and so on. So it's a cycle. But it's really gonna require every aspect, every area of society saying, what can I do? See, because we talk a lot about the problem, but you seldom hear people after a conversation say, okay, I heard what's happening, I am gonna volunteer to work with some kids from the inner city.
Yes.
I'm going to volunteer for if you want to help solve the problem, get involved.
Yes.
Go if there's a church program, if there's a boys brigade. Years ago, programs like the Boys Brigades or Boy Scouts, a lot of young men were saved because they had exposure to positive role models. But now, hardly anyone even wants to work in these programs.
So the programs can be around.
Yeah.
But what we are doing, Clint, even I'll say from an urban perspective, we are looking at programs. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
We are saying, I've asked persons to identify all the boys brigades that are going on, maybe struggling. We could guarantee we can send 20 boys to that program.
There you go.
We can guarantee to the scouts, we can send people there. To the brownies, we can send some girls there. To the girls brigade, we can send somebody there. But I want to still use this to commend, put people, like I said, the Defense Force, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, that Rangers program, a massive program.
I heard about
what they do with young people. I'm telling you, people have been going through that, being successful. Then you talk with the police officers who are in the community policing, who are out there with crime prevention. Then, and I want to say that to the leadership of both organizations, they're doing extremely well. Sometimes we don't see it, Clint. I've been behind in the trenches. You have to save lives because of intervention. And at BDOCS, I've seen a transformation, even of the officers.
Right.
The approach that they're looking at to rehabilitation. When you talk about the parole system that's about to come on. So we have to still uplifting our people, because right now what is the police doing? What is this one doing?
There's some good things happening.
There's
some good things happening.
And I think sometimes we don't celebrate the good. That is why everything seems to be so bad.
Right.
Because sometimes you turn on the talk show, this got to be the worst country in the world.
Right.
But I'll turn on the talk show in Jamaica, and I say they don't listen down there.
Right.
They don't listen to another Caribbean country.
Right.
It's the same thing.
So there are some people doing some things. That's why every day you don't hear nothing.
Clint, we are doing extremely well. I sat for 10 years on the community policing program, international community policing program. They want all say, how do you all do these things? How do you all have good relations with your residents? We can't do that. We are unique in the Bahamas.
I got to pause. Take this last break, and I'm coming back with your comment.
Okay.
We'll be back right after this.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andrews has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andrews. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SPDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian Company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SPDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I can't believe we have 2 minutes left, but that's how deep we got into the discussion, because we need to talk more about it. And I like going to what we were talking about going to the break, and that is, while we're talking about all of these challenges, we are making inroads.
Yes.
There's a far more success, yes. and I think as media we're responsible.
Yes.
Because we were always quick to give you the headline about a shooting or triple shooting, but where's that story about this young man who's just made a great success story, who's gotten a scholarship, who's making a difference every day? Where are those stories about young people who are doing well,
yes.
men who are standing in the gap,
yes.
men who are being great fathers and successful? We're not telling those stories enough.
Absolutely, and I think what's important is that 3 things need to happen. We need to fund successful programs.
Yes. There you go.
So
yes.
where there are results, we need to put money behind it.
Yes. Yes.
We don't have to talk about creating new programs. There are programs that are producing individuals who are successful.
Yes. Yes.
The other thing that we need is we need training for people who want to help. I wrote a book myself, Carlos Reed and Era Fox. We wrote a book called Reaching the Streets. And basically it's sharing principles on what to do if you want to reach a certain group. And then the third thing I want to mention is that we have to highlight results.
There you go.
Yes.
If young people never see positive stories, then the only thing they have to hold on to is crime.
Yes.
There you go.
But they need to see some, you know, what amazed me, I went to the Boys Industrial School recently, or Simpson Penn Center, and it was amazing how the boys couldn't believe my story.
Wow.
And it encouraged them. I had some of my books with me, and everybody wanted a book because it was such an incredible story of a turnaround, success.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what encourages young people to do better. So we have to highlight success.
We're seeing the success stories every day, and people who are doing it. I was just in Grand Bahama this past weekend, and a young man who has had his issues in runnings with trouble. He's now mentoring young people. It's called Exquisite Bahamas with his modeling and his fashion and raising young people who look to him and call him coach, and they're looking to him, and he's making a difference right in Grand Bahama. And there are people all over this country who are doing that with young people.
And that's why I'm saying to you, Clint, we have to start highlighting, find the medium to raise these young, give them opportunities. Because there's so many good stories that I see in the daytime. There's so many people that I've seen years ago, their life have transformed. They've turned around, they call you, Mr. Dean, how can I help? How could I intervene? And so many positive things. And I think if we highlight more positive,
there you go.
It will cause some people to say, yes, I can make the turn. I can be that's a positive example, and that's what our young people want to say. And Clint, you know, I want to seize this opportunity, really want to thank our leadership of our law enforcement agencies. Commissioner Shanton Knowles and the team, they do an outstanding job, so they're doing an outstanding job. The Commodore at the Moxie at the
Defense Force.
Outstanding, I'm telling you. And then
this is hard work.
Then Mr. Clare at the prison, we underestimate them, but if they don't work, we'll be in trouble in this country.
That's right.
So all the fine officers there, they're doing an excellent job, and all the officers who are on the ground. And all the, civic organizations, whether it's Rotary, whether it's Kiwanis, a lot of people are in the communities doing things. They don't, you don't see them out in public, but Clint, they are doing outstanding work.
And I must say thank you to you, gentlemen, because we know what you're doing on the front line every day. I thank you for coming and sharing it with us.
And I must thank my over-renewal people, because I can't come for this show.
You let it go.
Outstanding. Our coaches, Alden and Diana Francis, she has lost a mother lately. At deeper sympathy. Yeah, but I must say that fine people at over-renewal, they're doing some wonderful work, and in another couple of days, another couple of weeks, you'll see some positive things pumping out of over-renewal.
And I got to say thank you to CJ Lowe from Exquisite Bahamas for the work he's doing down there. And of course, Shayla Ramsey, she knows exactly why I'm saying thank you to her tonight for being great. Grand Bahama. When you go around the Bahamas, you really see how great the Bahamas is, and people who are working every day, who may not make the headlines, but they're doing what they can to make our country great.
I agree.
We have to salute them. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. That does it for the rundown. Be sure to stay locked to the ZNS Network for the Bahamas Tonight at 11. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest news and information. That man right over there getting ready for 11 o'clock, Royston Jones. I see you, Royston. He's ready for you at 11 o'clock tonight. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.
At Fort Montague, I'm Opal Roach. This is ZNS.